Hello, I'm Ned Hall, and it's time to take another trip back into the ABC Grandstand archives. Today, back to 1987 and an absolutely cracking VFL Grand Final between Carlton and Hawthorn. Enjoy.
As we saw last week, you can never underestimate Hawthorn's ability and their skill. I'm doubtful in these conditions how Chris Muir, we know he's a top player, but he did get knocked out last week and was out for 3 or 4 minutes, and it's always been a doubt to play them next week. Dunstall has to be a doubt. I know they wouldn't take a risk, but under the extreme pressure of a final, I think he could be found out, and I'd like Carlton. I think Carlton have got something to prove this year. They lost last year, were embarrassed last year, and I'm certain they won't allow it to happen, and I think Carlton will win by 5 goals.
Jason Dunstall is not running out with the Hawthorn side.
Pritchard's in.
Darren Pritchard is in the 20. Dunstall out and Pritchard in for Hawthorn here at the MCG as the Hawks come onto the ground and the thousands of brown and gold balloons go into the air. The Hawks on the ground, and Gareth Andrews. How many did you say they'd win by, Len?
5 goals.
30 points, thank you. Jack Cameron would like his headsets back, and oh gee, it's a great lineup of Carlton talented. Gareth. Microphone, Clearlo. Switch.
Thanks. You've got control over me today, Clearlo, of course, which you always have had. The important feature of today's game, I think, is the fact that Carlton are looking for revenge and to try to avenge the big defeat that they suffered at the hands of the Hawks last year. And they've made lots of changes to the lineup that they had in the grand final last year. And the major change is to try to overcome the running Hawthorn players, as the Carlton were a slow side, and by bringing in some of the speedsters, Carlton have answered their what happened last year, and I think they've done it pretty well, and I think it's really going to show on the scoreboard at the end of the day. I think the weather is going to make a big difference as the game goes on. Hawthorn are tremendous competitors, and that competitive spirit will see them right through to the final siren, but they have had a very tough final series. Not just physically, but emotionally. And, of course, so much emotion went into that fight back and that final victory last week that no matter what you say, 7 days goes very quickly in football, particularly at this time of the season. And I think that's going to have a telling effect on the Hawthorn side. They've gone very quietly over the last week of training because Alan Jeans realises that there's a lot gone in and it's been a hard effort from these fellas. The fact that they haven't got Dunstall, well, that certainly makes a big difference to the side. But, of course, I think that's been equated somewhat by the fact that Carlton is without Satori. I believe he was going to be a key player in the Carlton plans, so those two players match each other off. I think Carlton with their speed, I think Carlton with their freshness should be able to take the game today, and I'm selecting them by 42 points.
Gareth going by 7 goals. Hawthorn wearing their uniform brown shorts. And yes, Michael Tuck is wearing a long-sleeve sweater. The rest of the Hawthorn players in sleeveless jumpers here today. A former Carlton champion and premiership player, David Mackay. But before you do, Swanee, just hold you the introduction for the Blues to run onto the ground. The trainer's coming out first. False alarm. The big banner goes up with Peter Motley and Des English holding onto the Premiership Cup. A terrific banner, a beauty by the Blues, but false alarm, so Swanee go for it.
Yes, Graham. Well, I think Carlton certainly start today with a lot better opportunity than they did in the 1986 Grand Final. I think, as Gareth mentioned, they've made 7 changes from last year's side, and the majority of those changes add a lot of pace to Carlton's game, and that was certainly the area where they were really brought undone last year, particularly players like Harms, McClure and Dool were just not quick enough for the pacey Hawthorn players of last year. The other big thing in Carlton's favour is the ruck work of Madden. Madden has been playing superb football throughout the year, and in particular in the finals, and hopefully today he'll be able to give Carlton first use of the ball. There are other major bonuses, the recruitment of Mark Nailey. Mark Nailey has really livened up Carlton's following division, and that was certainly one of their weaknesses in '86, and they've covered that well. Added to that, they've also got Gleeson and Murphy will be out to prove that if he was in last year's finals, he may have been a valuable player to Carlton, and it's good to see him get the chance.
Here comes Swan. Kernahan leading them out, followed by Madden and Bradley. The banner's gone down.
Jono's revving them up, Graham.
Yep. So, David, off you go.
There's no doubt that Johnson, as Peter mentioned, is revving up Carlton, and he is certainly the linchpin of getting Carlton going. He's a particularly good player, and his aggression, the pressure that he puts on the opposition players is absolutely enormous. I think he'll probably start on the half-forward flank, but as we noticed in the last time they played Hawthorn, he moved to the centre.
Thank you, Rodney. We might get another vote for Hawthorn from Kevin Cobman to your left. Rodney, yes, Scooter?
I think it's probably a disappointment for Dunstall and for the Hawthorn fans that he's out, and provided the Hawthorn camp doesn't panic as it did in the second semi-final out at VFL Park, and provided the Hawthorn camp leaves that the rest of the forward division much fated as the best forward division we've seen for many years, as long as they leave the rest of them in position, I think the Hawks can win this by 25 points.
Thank you, Kevin. Great to have with us at the MCG today our Carrara-based Australian football commentator. That's up on the Gold Coast for the Bears home matches, the former Essendon champion and premiership player Huey Mitchell. Great to have you here, Huey, and how do you see it going?
Yeah, thanks very much, Graham. Well, Carlton, I think, are going to be very hard to beat. I think a lot of their players will still remember last year's grand final, the taste of defeat. That certainly will inspire them. I think they're a much better side than last year. They've improved a lot in players. Kernahan and Bradley had a very quiet game last year. I'm sure both of these players will certainly lift their game this afternoon. And of course the inclusion of Nailey, I think he's been a big bonus for the Blues during the season, picking up kicks around the packs and around the ground. But I think the Hawthorn defence will work overtime this afternoon. Interesting to see how Chris Muir has come up after that bad knock last week. And it wouldn't surprise me if Langford started at centre-half back on Kernahan, because I think Kernahan's going to be the key to Carlton this afternoon. And I think it'll be a very close game, although I do think Carlton will finish much fitter as the day goes on, and I'm picking them to win by 36 points.
Huey Mitchell going for the Blues, and finally another former Hawthorn premiership player before they line up and toss the coin and we hear the anthem. Timing perfect, Michael Moncrief. Can you see the Hawks making it back-to-back premierships this afternoon?
Going to find it very hard indeed, Graham, because the conditions here, as we've said, they're going to have it not in their favour. I think the inclusion of Pritchard means that they're trying to match the Carlton running players, because they've got a lot more in Nailey, Gleeson, Murphy and Meldrum coming into those two interchange players on the bench. So Pritchard's there to try and help Collins and also Brownlow medalist Johnny Platten to try and help combat the pace that is certainly going to be used here today. I think the key, as David Mackay said, is the fact that Buckenara and also Brereton are going to have to kick a lot of goals. The thing was that in the second semi-final, the key goal kickers for Hawthorn were held to 5 goals. Dunstall kicked a couple, Carinelli kicked 1, Brereton 1 and Buckenara 1, so those players were well held. I think if Hawthorn are going to win, they've certainly got to rely on those players to kick goals. So I'd just like to wish all the country listeners good listening today, and also the people at Yarrawonga.
Thanks, Mike. Stand by for the anthem.
Right, official dividends now to hand on race 4 at Moonee Valley. And the placings 3, 4 and 2. First number 3, Gallipoli Prince, will pay $1.15 for the win, 60 cents for the place. Second number 4, Gloaming Kearu, will pay 80 cents. And third number 2, Orlandi Star, 80 cents. The Quinella, $2.25. And the trifecta will pay $23.30.
Pat Cash. This is an Australian nugget. Now, Mike, you can have a good look at it. Steve Kernahan has the call. Ready to toss, Pat? Right. Heads and nugget. Heads is a call from Steve Kernahan. And it's come up tails. Michael Tuck has the choice. Go to the scoreboard end. Hawthorn have won the toss and are kicking to the scoreboard end.
And for the final word on the preview of the grand final, Douglas Bigelow. Douglas.
We're giving margins this year and opinions divided. I remember when Hawthorn last played Carlton a fortnight ago, the margin was only 15 points and it was anybody's game that day, although Carlton did finish well. There's been a lot of mouth movement this week from many and various. Alan Jeans has made a lot of movement from the mouth, but he said very little. Robert Walls has been the chirper and is very, very confident about the Blues this year. Because the encounter's out there on the MCG, and that's where it all takes place. And I just have a little feeling that Hawthorn, who are very used to this grand final caper, very used to it, enjoyed the glory of winning them, have had the disappointments of losing. And Carlton, I suppose, have improved. There's no doubt about that. They have been a good side this year. This will be a great grand final. I'm quite sure of that. But I'm staying with Hawthorn. I still think they've got the qualities and the capabilities. And what's the interchange situation, Smoke?
Well, Abbott and Pritchard are going for Hawthorn, and Mackenzie and Gleeson for Carlton. And the big move is Dorotich to full forward for Carlton. Kernahan is being picked up by Langford. Carlton keeping the forward line right open, and Dorotich to full forward. Silvani is in a sleeveless sweater.
Swab on Johnson.
Rhys Jones is going to play on Brereton. Well, I thought this might be on Rhys Jones on Brereton. Silvani on Paul Deere. Alvin is going to play on Buckenara today. Dean on Morris. And Aitken on Curran. And we're about to start the 1987 grand final. Carlton against Hawthorn at the MCG. Ayres is in the centre for Hawthorn. Looks like he's going to play on Bradley. Swab on Johnston. Fraser Murphy starting in the centre for the Blues. Nailey outside the square, but he'll run in there pretty quickly. And so will Peter Russo. Don't worry about that. 2:30 in Eastern Australia. Ian Robinson has the footy. About to go on the grand final. Go for it smooth.
What's Jono barking to the umpire about?
Jono's talking to the umpire about something. He's got a free kick. Wayne Johnston.
Players in the centre.
Five in the centre. Okay, Wayne Johnson now gets the first kick of the grand final for Carlton. A high one in towards centre. Hard forward. Hunter's marked. 40 metres out for Carlton, directly in front. Dorotich, as Graham mentioned, is playing full forward. Kennedy has picked him up. Rhys Jones has picked up Brereton. But 5 in the centre has given Carlton the first chance to score in the grand final. A high kick by Johnston, marked by Hunter.
Smart thinking by Johnson, wasn't it?
Fantastic. The kick by Hunter at the punt road end. Oh, it's swirling around a bit. I think he's missed it. He has. It's a behind. It didn't miss by a great margin. And Carlton score a behind 51 seconds into the grand final.
Langford playing on Kernahan, takes the kick and he goes to the southern stand wing. Di Domenico comes in over the top. Robertson's picked him up. The chance for the Blues. Good tackle. The ball spills free. Picked up for Hawthorn. The kick smothered. It was Russo. Kicked by Di Domenico. Only goes about 8 metres. Mark not played for it. Comes to Glasgow, who steps out of a tackle. Drives the Blues back into attack. Dorotich the target. Fisted away by Langford. Out in front of the pack. It spills towards Fraser Murphy. Spills now for Meldrum, who ducks his head. Gets it away towards Johnson, who's tackled. Tripp as the free kick going Carlton's way.
Johnson is limping.
Johnston is limping. He has the free kick 45 metres from goal, directly in front. Robertson has picked up Di Domenico. Tucker's dropped back onto Bradley. The ball went forward. Green being picked up by Kennedy of Carlton. The kick by Johnston. That looks better. He's put it through. First goal of the match, kicked by the dominator, Wayne Johnston, coming 1 minute and 53 seconds into the first term. Carlton, 1 goal, 1-7. lead Hawthorn yet to score. They haven't been into attack, the Hawks, so far in the grand final.
Well, Johnson once again proving his value with that very accurate shot at goal, and of course the smart move early in the piece when he was aware that Hawthorn had more than the required amount of players in the centre. He's going to have a big effect on this game, Wayne Johnson, and certainly, as indicated, in the mood.
Carlton 1-1. Hawthorn yet to score. Madden gets a knock. Intercepted by Russo. The ball spills. Taken by Glascott. A left foot kick towards centre half forward. The ball bounces free. Comes out towards Langford, but taken away by Hawthorn across the half-back line. The mark is taken by Dennis. Plays on quickly. The lead from Dorotich was a bit too early. The punch away by Mew. It comes to Dorotich. Gets the handball onto Meldrum. He can kick a goal. He has. No, he hasn't. He's missed.
Should have.
Quick hand pass by Dorotich onto Meldrum from about 25 metres out and just missed. So Carlton really fired out of a gun in the early minutes of this grand final. 1-2-8 and Hawthorn yet to score.
And that move has caught Hawthorn unawares because they've had to change Mew off Hunter and put Kennedy on Dorotich, Mew back on Dorotich, kicked into Green, who marks at half-back on the southern stand side. Kennedy was, that's Michael Kennedy of Carlton, came in. Short kick from Green, marked by Schwab near the point of the square in defence, gets the hand pass back to the running Green. Green goes for a long kick down the ground. Brereton gets underneath it, big pack, Curran in front, the ball spills. Curran following up, Morris it is, crashes the Carlton player. Handball comes from Domenico to Platten, who gets tackled high. He weaves his way through the pack, bouncing ball well smothered by Alvin, he fumbles. Ball comes out towards Buckenara. Paul Deere comes in. Umpire Robinson says, give it to me. Fairly solid exchange there. And the first time Hawthorn has gone forward, the ball to be bounced at centre half forward. 45 metres from the goal. They're attacking at the main scoreboard end. The Blues, 1-2-8 lead Hawthorn yet to score. Almost 3 minutes and 50 seconds gone in the first term. Paul Deere comes in to do the contesting. Spills down towards Tuck. Push forward. Schwab, 35 metres out from goal. Kicks and misses. First score for the Hawks. They go to one behind, trailing Carlton 1-2-8. 4 minutes gone, first quarter of the 87 grand final.
Yes, well, that was a good move by Hawthorn, or Paul Deere too, to come down and do that ruck contesting. He didn't mess around. He ran 50 metres away from full forward to contest with Madden.
The kick in by Michael Kennedy of Carlton. A very hot day in Melbourne, over 30 degrees, a huge crowd. The ball intercepted at centre half forward by Domenico. Gets one a bit high from Johnston. He'll take the free kick. And I think they might have been testing out his shoulder. And Wayne Johnston has been reported by umpire Ian Robinson for that fairly high tackle.
Dipper's all right.
Don't worry, he's not too flash, I can tell you that. He's pointed a finger, so beware.
Now Dipper will take the kick if he doesn't get a 15-metre penalty outside 50. In fact, that Carlton player on the mark is going well up.
He's not smart at all. He tried to be.
From about 52 metres out, directly in front to the main scoreboard or city end. Robert Domenico, he's going for a long one. The drop punt on its way. It's fading towards the pocket. In fact, it could be out of bounds on the full. It is. The free kick will be taken by Rhys Jones of Carlton.
Goes out towards the southern stand side, and his kick goes out of bounds on the full. And Tuck will take the free kick outside 50. Tucker's got the job on Bradley today. At the moment, Collins is staying in the back pocket on Nailey. Ayres on Meldrum as Tuck comes in. To drive Hawthorn deep into attack, he does. Brereton is going to fly from behind with Curran. They flew high. Comes down towards Rhys Jones. Ball spills free. Here's a chance for Hawthorn. Barging his way through is Curran. He screws it back offline and through for a behind. Hawthorn working hard, but getting only 2 behinds to Carlton's 1-2. 5 minutes and 50 seconds into the first term. The Blues lead by 6 points.
Great start. Kick in by Kennedy is short to Rhys Jones. It doesn't find its mark cleanly. Rhys Jones gets a push, and he was a bit lucky. In fact, Kennedy kicking in was a bit lucky to get the ball up to Rhys Jones and get this result, a push and a free kick, because it wasn't on target. Handball over to Robertson is a bit too strong. It spills out towards Alvin. Good shepherding there by Dean allows Alvin to scoot the ball up towards Kernahan on the wing on the southern side. 15 metres to Kernahan as Jenke just roughed him up a little bit to slow him down.
30 now it is.
Make it 30. 2 lots of 15, but Kernahan just takes advantage of the first. Out comes Dorotich. He's marked it right on his chest. Half forward flank. As you look down the MCG to the punt road end, it's the right half forward flank in front of Bay, I guess about 10. And this will suit his kicking style. He's about 15 metres in from the boundary. John Dorotich, normally centre half back and playing full forward. Carlton lead by 8 points to 2. Dorotage, 35 metres out, drop punt, and it's offline. And it just snuck in for a behind him, almost right across the face of goal, from one pocket to another. Carlton 1-3, Hawthorn 2 behind.
Pretty good move by Walls, though, this isn't it? Although Dorotage has had a lot of experience up forward.
Ayres kicks in, he goes long, almost straight down the ground. Langford goes for the knock on, it rebounds to Kernahan, who knocks the ball about 30 metres forward. Chance for Dennis, but now Murphy with pace will get there first. He tries to run around Jenky, can't, gets it back towards Dennis, whose handball goes out of bounds. Good defensive skills by the Hawks there, particularly Ray Jenky, who had support from Collins, and the ball is out of bounds. 7.5 minutes gone, first term of the 87 grand final. The Blues are 1-3-9, the Hawks 2 behinds, 2 points. The ball back into play. Mew goes up for that one. The ruckman staying back, a kick behind the play. The ball shoveled out of the packet, comes out towards Russo. He's scalped. Yes. Gets the handball away towards Kennedy, who handballs, and it goes out of bounds. So the umpire's letting it go. Saws was the one that time, as it was a Russo low tackle that, he ducked right out of. Ball to be thrown in the back pocket for Hawthorn. Deep into attack for the Blues. Over the back of the packet comes to Meldrum. First there. He fobbed off Swab with the high one. Gets it to Nailey. Nailey 35 metres, fires and misses. Bit of space he created for himself. 3/4 sleeve jumper for Nailey. And Carlton go to 1-4-10. Hawthorn 2 behinds, 2 points. 8 minutes and 25 seconds gone in the first quarter.
Hurriedly, or hurried shots, but reasonably easy to have been some good scores. There's a box on.
Platten and Robertson, thanks mate for turning the mic on. The kick by Langford, Orchard Beauty, right up inside the centre square. No one can mark. Di Domenico is there, and so is Bradley. Bradley might want support with a hand pass across to Michael Kennedy. No, he goes to Dean. Dean sees Glascott in the centre, just on the attacking side. Nailey comes in to fend off Platten. Handball across, finds Madden. Madden now goes for a torp, doesn't quite get onto it. The ball bounces in front of Langford and Kernahan. It's about 40 metres out from goal, and it's been worked over. A boundary throw in, about 45 metres out from goal, left half forward flank, punt right end. Throw in. The ball holding up in the breeze, knocked away by Mew. Ball at half back on the 50-metre line. Platten coming through. He gets dragged down. He got rid of the... Oh, goodness me. He handballed away and was dragged down, and the free kick will go back to Glascott of Carlton. Clearlo.
A dreadful decision by the umpire. That is Carlton's 4th free kick, and Hawthorn have had 1.
9.5 minutes first term. Glascott goes for a short pass. Dennis the target. Fished it away from him. In support, Langford. His hand pass, not all that flash, but it goes to Jenky, who gets it back to Langford. Langford clears in the back pocket. No one home. Johnston is there. Good shepherding by Aitken allows Johnston to take the mark. The shepherding on Curran. The kick by Johnston in towards Kernahan.
That was touched too.
Touch play on is the call. They dive all over the top of him, and the ball will be bounced. I thought it was, Doug. I missed
it. It was touched.
Right. I saw the touch, didn't see the signal from Robinson.
The umpire gave it.
Yep, and he immediately signalled play on, which was Saws. It's 45 metres from goal at the punt road end, the end of which Carlton is kicking in this first term. The ball knocked down, Tuck grab without it, play on's a call. Bit of a push on Platten. Ayres coming through strongly, tries to shovel it out, still trying. Now Johnston tries to shovel it out, comes towards Tuck. Platten tackles the Carlton player underneath the ball. That player was Murphy. It's going to be bounced. Hawthorn worked it in a rugby fashion forward about 5 metres. 10.5 minutes gone first term. Carlton 1-4, Hawthorn 2 behinds. Madden gets the tap. It goes to Ayres. Ayres, he goes for a hand pass out to Langford. Bit of confidence in that one, if you don't mind. Looks for Morris on the wing. Morris in front of Dean, or the rebounding ball favours Dean beautifully. Foot pass to Kernahan, who gets away from Langford. And the Carlton skippers mark 50 metres from goal, just in from the boundary line. Good bounce for Dean over there on the crest on the southern stand wing.
Cool one for Curran.
And Morris, rather, Douglas.
Was it? Thank you.
This is Kernahan, the Carlton skipper. He's put the ball on the turf. He's going to kick from just outside 50 metres at the 11-minute mark of the first quarter. The Blues are 1-4-10, leading Hawthorn 2 behinds, 2 points. Dennis leads. What's called a furphy, I would suggest, under those circumstances. Kernahan comes in. He's going to kick right to the square. Madden comes in, but free kick is being paid to Hawthorn as Mew got the fist away, but the push went on Greg Deere, and he'll get the free kick in the last line of defence. Hawthorn at the 11.5-minute mark of the first quarter, 2 behinds. The Blues are 1-4.
Kick by Deere up towards the 15-metre line. Tuck goes up and can't mark. He comes to it but loses possession. Di Domenico falls on top of the ball, and there'll be a ball up about 60 metres out from Carlton's goal. A very hot day. Everyone's palms are sweating. All the nervous tension. Madden gets the tap at Nailey. Can't do much with the kick off the ground by Tuck. Further up the field, the mark has been taken by Dean.
Anticipated that, didn't he? That kick off the ground by Tuck.
Dean goes long, inside 50 the kick, up towards Mew and Dorotich. Dorotich goes to ground. Mew rides a bump, almost a one-hander out of the pack by Mew. Coming in hard as Russo. Jenke is there too, and there'll be a ball up about 35 metres out from goal.
Gee, it's hot, isn't it? It's hot out there.
It must be about 31 or 32 degrees. We'll try and get the studio to give us some idea. There's the ball up. Carlton into attack at half forward. Greg Deere punches the ball. Knock on further by Tuck. It goes up towards Schwab. Tries to spin out of a tackle. It loses possession. Picked up by Johnston. 40 metres out for Carlton. Fires in towards goal, and I think he's kicked it. He has. He's kicked it. Carlton's second goal. Both kicked by Wayne Johnston. Carlton go to 2-4-16 with 6 scoring shots to 2, and Hawthorn 2 behinds, 2 points, 13 minutes in the first quarter.
Gee, doesn't he show his value and class? Dominator, anticipator too, and converter is Johnson. Loving this. There's a box on.
Aitken was after Morris. Down comes Curran. Aitken went after Morris. I don't know what for. Georgie Stone comes in. Well, there was a reason. So one of the boys said they can comment on that at quarter time, but Aitken went after Morris and Curran came in very quickly.
He's coming from the ground now, is Morris.
Pritchard is going on. Morris off. Left knee looks a bit iffy.
Yeah, a little jarry.
So Pritchard on and Morris to the interchange bench. At the 13-minute and 40-second mark of the first quarter, we had a little bit of life in proceedings then, as Aitken went after the Carlton player Morris.
I think these umpires have got to take a little bit more control of this game. They've had 5 ball-up decisions already, 4 free kicks to Carlton and 1 to Hawthorn, and I don't think they're strict enough.
At the centre bounce again, the ball knocked down by Madden. It comes to Nailey. Nailey gets Carlton forward again on the point of the square. Out comes Meldrum. The ball punched away by Ayres. It comes to Aiken. Ball lay call. It went past Nailey. Picked up by Dennis. Dennis spots Hunter at centre half forward. Will he take it? He has. 40 metres out directly in front, Kenny Hunter. Great ruck dominance by Justin Madden to get Carlton going forward. Hunter right in front at the true centre half forward position. 40 metres out. The drop punt is absolutely perfect, and Carlton screwed away in the early stages of the 87 grand final to lead by 20 points. Carlton 3-4-22. Hawthorn 2 behinds, 2 points midway through the first quarter, and the clock showing 14 minutes and 58 seconds.
A little bit of danger stuff there up in Carlton's forward line. Hunter, Johnson, and of course Kernahan too, looking pretty good. Dorotich is adding a little bit, and that Hawthorn back line is really being subjected to plenty at the moment and not handling it too well at all.
Glascott being moved on to deputy a minute ago. Robertson back in the pocket on Russo. That's the forward pocket. As umpire Robinson comes in and bounced to restart. Madden, this time Deere gets the tap. Schwab trying to take control of it, couldn't do so, gets it across the Platt in a hurried kick to half forward. Pritchard comes out, gets a bit of a shove, the ball spills free. Coming through strongly is Dean, but in the road was Platten. Ball not able to come out of the packet. We bounce just inside the centre square.
Smokey, yeah, a quick word from Mark Cutler, who's on the boundary with Russell Morris. What's happening with his knee?
Well, Peter, yes, physio Barry Gavin is working overtime on the knee of Morris. He sent a trainer inside to get something, I'm not quite sure. And just before what happened between Dean and Morris, there was a little Scottish kiss on the forehead of Peter Dean, delivered by Morris, and that was what it was all about.
Okay, back to you in a moment, Smoke.
Peter Curran to get a free kick for Hawthorn. Just inside the centre square.
It's 27.9 degrees now. Just noticed the St John's people working very busily around the MCG with the heat.
The kick by Curran. Brereton comes from behind Paul Deere. The ball spills, but Glascott at the fall of the ball. He's got nowhere to go. Shepherding strong on Platten. Plowon's the call. Glascott runs his full measure, takes the ball almost out to the 50-metre defensive line. Goes wide. Dennis in front, could take the mark.
Beautiful son.
Yes, he's been down on form a little, but that's characteristic of his play. He goes wide. Langford is in front of Kernahan this time and takes the mark at half-back Southern stand side. 16 minutes and 40 first term. It's all Carlton. They're 3-4 to Hawthorn 2 behind. Short kick Langford is marked by Jenke. Jenke goes to Brereton at centre half forward and he takes the mark.
Yes.
Just outside 50.
Johnston and Rhys Jones a little late. Johnston's hurt his hand. He signalled to the trainer. Johnston has hurt his left hand. As he went for that ball, he signalled to the trainer. Paul Deere and Silvani in a sleeveless sweater today. As Brereton comes in close to the man on the mark. Oh, he's hooked it going for distance. Up over the top, Paul Deere, second grab, can't take it. Platten comes in, the ball out of bounds. Free kick going Carlton's way, says the umpire. That's Soars in the last line of defence, and it will go to Silvani for interference. 17 and 20, first term of the 87 grand final. Carlton 3-4-22, 20 points in front of Hawthorn, 2 behinds, 2 points.
I've got the glasses on Johnston, Graham. I'll keep you posted.
Kick by Silvani to half-back Southern stand side. The ball spills okay for Dipper. He gets the hand pass away to Greg Deere. The big fellow kicks off the right boot in towards full forward. Dean couldn't hold the mark. The ball spills. He knocks it back towards the goal. He pushes it close to the behind post. He'll clear off the left boot out in front of the member stand. Meldrum is in front of Ayres. Gets a good bounce. Meldrum gathers well. Kicks off the left boot wide. Will it go out of bounds on the full? It does. So the free kick will go to Gary Ayres right on the grandstand wing in front of our commentary box. 18 minutes gone in the first term of this grand final. The Blues doing it beautifully. 3-4-22 to Hawthorn. 2 behinds, 2 points. Short from Ayres to Russo on the crest. Into attack go Hawthorn. The lead from Paul Deere, Silvani to spoil. Di Domenico takes the crumbs. Oh, he kicked it before he got it. Taken by Johnston, who clears off the right boot. He goes wide to the southern stand side. Leading in the race for the ball is Michael Kennedy of Carlton, and it's out of bounds. 18 and a half first term. Carlton 3-4-22 lead. Hawthorn 2 behinds, 2 points.
Jono's okay. Just want some tape. Carlton 3-4. Hawthorn 2 behinds. It's out of bounds on the practice pitch area on the southern side. Madden and Deere just almost front onto one another for that. Attempted tap away by Deere. The ball spills, comes out towards Alvin. But Carlton's there through Kennedy, who seemed to flick it, but he must have been okay. Onto Bradley. His kick doesn't travel very far. Comes off the boot of Robertson and trickles over. Not on the full, but a boundary throw in once again. Half forward flank, about 75 metres out of Hawthorn's goal. Haven't scored one yet. Greg Deere goes up, punches the ball down, but it goes to Nailey. Nailey stole that one. Ball they call. Picked up by Johnston. Scrubby old kick, but it goes out towards Murphy. Quick hand pass on to Meldrum. Handball across to Alvin running. Alvin's hand pass is intercepted by Langford. It's picked up by Kernahan, who goes to Hunter. Hunter's marked 35 metres out. On an angle.
Johnston's coming off, Peter, and Gleeson will go on for Carlton.
It'll suit his left foot style. He's just a little more acute than John Dorotich was earlier in the quarter. Yep, Jono going off and Gleeson coming on. Johnston to get his hand taped. The kick by Hunter, a drop punt. It's going across. Not more. Kernahan, no, it's through. It went over the line. Kernahan flew high, and it's through from behind to Carlton. Kick by Ken Hunter. Carlton 3-5. Hawthorn 2 behinds. It's 23 points to 2. 20 minutes in the first term of the grand final.
The Hawks are trailing by 21 points. That's kicked in by Mew. Bit of a poor one out the half-back on the grandstand side. Chance for Di Domenico. Gets the hand pass away to Green. Green off the left boot to half-forward for Hawthorn. Rhys Jones comes over the top to knock it away from Brereton. Aitken at the fall of the ball. Curran of worry him out of it. Aitken falls with the ball underneath him. Manages to get the hand pass away to Glasgow. It was a poor one. Paul Deere there. The ball spills free. Platten and Brereton working hard for Hawthorn. As is Dean for Carlton. The ball to be bounced at centre half forward for the Hawks, just inside the 50-metre line. Hawthorn going to the main scoreboard goal in the first term, about to interchange their ruckman, I would suggest, at the 20.5-minute mark. As Paul Deere goes in the forward half ruck work, Schwab goes up, tries to grab it. Ducks his head, gets caught with the ball. The umpire may free kick him, he won't. It's going to be bounced on the 50-metre line. Carlton 3-5-23. Hawthorn 2 behinds, 2 points as Mackenzie is warming up for Carlton and Abbott for Hawthorn. There's the bounce. Oh, Madden goes up almost uncontested. Spills okay. Brereton is there. Can he get it away? Out towards Ayres. Ayres breaks out of a tackle. Gets the handball to Russo. Russo forced to kick quickly. No one home for Hawthorn because Deere's up the ground. That's Paul Deere doing the ruck work. Silvani marks in the last line of defence just in from the boundary line. Goes short. Oh, he goes over the head of Aitken. Green comes in, couldn't hold the mark, but knocks it free. Chance for Curran from the boundary line. Oh, he's kicked right across the face. Dropping back is Shane Robertson. Takes the mark for Carlton. Gets the handball away to Alvin running strongly. Alvin has a bounce on the 50-metre line. Half back. Southern stand side. Up towards the crest. Hunter is in front of Kennedy. Kennedy gets a fist to it, but the ball spills okay for Hunter. Hunter's away. Forced to kick with the right boot. Goes wide. Was it too wide? It was, and it's out of bounds on the full at left half forward for the Blues, where Jackie takes the free kick, is it? Goes short, but it's a shocker. Back onto the crest. Taken for Carlton. Is it Bradley or Shane Robertson? Glasgow. Up towards full forward. Dorotich nearly a one-hander. The ball spills. Chance for Ayres. He overruns it. Shovel back towards Ayres by Mew. Ayres wants support. Collins is there. He's outnumbered 3-1. Picked up by Meldrum. His hand passed too far for Kernahan. Coming through was Russo. Good work, Russo. Collins with pace comes in to intercept. Clears back towards the wing. Chance for Green and Michael Kennedy. Aitken is there. The bouncing ball leads all of them. Aitken gathers well. Strong tackle by Curran forces Aitken to kick out of bounds, but he does it well under pressure. Right in front of the members' stand. 22 minutes gone in the first quarter of the grand final. Johnston back on. Gleeson off. Morris limbering up. Hawthorn 2 behind. Trail Carlton 3 goals 5-23.
22.5 minutes in the first term. Boundary throw in on Hawthorn's half-forward flank. It's taken away by Glascott. A left-foot kick from the pack, but there's nobody home, and Abbott marks. He's just come on. Now the kick by Abbott towards centre half-forward. Dipper Domenico is there in Brereton. The ball spills to ground. Coming through Silvani out number 3-1, but there's going to be a free kick to Dipper. Outside 50. Robert Dipper Domenico will get the free kick for a trip, was it? Oh, Curran's by himself on in the forward pocket. Green. Oh, he went short. And coming in is Silvani to intercept. His target was Green, but he gave it across to Johnston. What's happening? The ball coming back.
He's got time on. Silvani's got the kick because he got the free kick for one high, and the umpire blew time on.
At centre half. It's made centre half back. The kick by Silvani up towards Dennis coming in and takes a beauty on the wing. Feeding off him is Michael Kennedy, but he won't go for Kennedy. He's going for Hunter in front of Mew. The ball bounces, in fact it bounces away from both players, and it's over and out.
Hawthorn have moved Abbott onto Dorotich and put Mew back on Hunter, and I think Kennedy must be up half forward. And Pritchard was a player who came off when Abbott went on.
Carlton into attack, about 60 metres out from goal in front of Bay 13. The ball knocked down by Madden, but he taps it unfortunately for Carlton to Jenke. Jenke looks for Dipper Domenico. Dipper's just on the practice pitch area. Has a bounce now. Goes with his left foot. It's a shocker. Board breaks past to Rhys Jones. Brereton grabbed and will be penalised for holding the ball. Dermot Brereton. They are tackling ferociously, Carlton. They look very fit indeed, but there's a long way to go in this seat. The free kick to Rhys Jones. The handball across to Johnston. From half back up towards half forward, and Dennis, he's playing a blinder. Paul Glascott's by himself at centre half forward, but he's going towards Dorotich. Down there is Meldrum waiting behind. The punch away by Abbott. Langford comes to it at half back. Gets the handball away. No, he thought he would. He goes for a bounce around the wing looking for Swab, and Swab's marked just down from wing on the half forward line.
15 metres, thank you very much.
At least. Still hanging on.
And now it's nothing.
Speak to me, Clearly, because I'm speechless.
Well, Ian Robinson's got a rule of his own today. That's 2 bad mistakes he's made. That should have been 30 metres penalty.
Madden goes high, couldn't hold the mark. It was stolen from him by a teammate. It's kicked away for Carlton out wide. In comes Langford. Kernahan was there. Chance for Kernahan as it rebounds to him. He gets a bit of a shove. He'll get the free kick for the push in the back. Kernahan, the Carlton skipper, gets it on the crest. Southern stand side. 25 minutes gone first term. Carlton 3-5-23. Hawthorn 2 behinds. 2 points in the 87 grand final.
Kick by Kernahan from half back up towards half forward. Abbott got a bad bounce. It comes down towards Dorotich, being manhandled by Green. No free kick. And Dorotich hand passes out of the pack. Yes, it should have been a free kick. Oh, they went in hard and furious there. Let's see who's last to get up. Jenke's free kick on the half-back line in front of about Bay 14. Goes short to Russo at half-back. Hunter comes up to cover him. Russo gets the handball away. On towards Collins. Collins now from half-back to Kennedy. Up forward now. Kennedy on 50. A chance to score Hawthorn's first goal. The kick in towards goal. I think it's through. Yes, it is. Right on quarter time. We've played 26 minutes in the first quarter. And that goal coming at the 25-minute and 55-second mark. Kennedy kicked it. It bounced through. Carlton 3-5. Hawthorn 1-2. Biggs.
He's in attack now, Kennedy, and that might have been, well, it was a good move as it's turned out because he has produced...
Didn't they make a similar move a week or so ago, which resulted in a goal within minutes of the move being made?
Who's the man on Hunter now?
Mew gone back onto him, and Abbott's gone on to Dorotich.
Yes, well, that could work very well. Kennedy's goal, a little lucky. Silvani just couldn't touch it. Must have got very close.
26 and a half first quarter. The bounce slightly favours Greg Deere. Madden gets his hand to it. Chance for Nailey. Madden couldn't get a kick in. Tuck working hard, gets a shove. The Hawthorn skipper will get the free for the push right in the centre of the ground. Almost 27 minutes gone. Oh, he came in from the side, Fraser Murphy, 15 metres as Tuck was about to take his kick. 27 minutes almost gone first term. Carlton 3-5-23. Hawthorn 1 goal 2-8. Tuck, he goes for a taunt, but he kicks it a bit high. It's a floater down towards full forward. Brereton comes out, he's behind. The ball spills. No one there except Platten. He picks it up. He's free kick to Platten. Free kick to Platten. 35 metres from goal directly in front. Nailey was a tackling player. He says, have a look at the replay.
Look, it was a similar situation with Platten up this end of the ground, and he was given holding the ball against. That was more obvious and could have been holding the ball against Platten. Maybe it should have.
I tell you what, Biggs, Carlton are going to undo 25 minutes of top football in 2 minutes of time on here.
Platten kicks to the big scoreboard goal. Has he kicked Hawthorn second?
Yep.
I have a feeling he has. He has. Platten kicks Hawthorn second. And at the 27.5-minute mark of the first term, Carlton 3-5-23 lead Hawthorn 2-2-14 by a margin of 9 points.
Yes, well, unfortunately, Carlton have been so supreme in this quarter, but unfortunately, they've been non-productive up forward, but completely in command there. Hawthorn's backline has worked very hard, particularly Langford and Ayres.
Back with umpire Rowan Saws. Almost quarter time here in the grand final. A perfect centre bounce. Up goes Madden. Taps it down towards Bradley. Players overrunning the ball. Platten grabbed, no free kick. The ball picked up by Tuck, who gives a little lifter. Yes, and there'll be an advantage down the field, and rightly so against Justin Madden. He's going to be reported.
Of course he is.
Madden's been reported for giving Tucky a bit of a lefty, and I tell you what, it hurt more than we first thought because Tucker's still not up.
That's 2 Carlton players reported in the first quarter, Peter, Johnston and Madden.
Kennedy's got the free kick just down from wing. And Tuck, I tell you what, it didn't look all that vicious. But I tell you what, it's really hurt Tuck. Russo's hurt himself too, his knee's gone. The lead by Brereton is coming behind. No, but Domenico's marked. 45 metres out from goal. Tucky's up and he's okay.
Bit of courage, Dipper too, the troops were descending. Does he know any fear, that man, at all?
Almost 4 minutes of time on.
And he was a player down for when Johnston was reported.
Hawthorn's first goal came when? Jack into time one, was it? 25-55, the second goal at about 27, the kick by Dipper. It's a beauty, and he's put it through. Hawthorn's third goal. And after Carlton led by 20 points just a short time ago, they lead by 3 points close to quarter time. Carlton 3-5-23, Hawthorn is spirited. Last a few minutes, 3-2-20.
Yes, well, it's been pretty tough stuff, and as we would have expected, Carlton really applying a lot of pressure. Some of it has been good and effective, but a little has been crude. And the last 2 minutes has been quite costly.
Almost 30 minutes gone in the first term. The difference just 3 points now. Centre bounce favours Madden. He gets a big fist to it. Grabbed by Jenke. He's grabbed without the ball. It spills to Collins. He gets the hand pass to Langford. Langford with a quick kick out of the centre. Up to half forward. Michael Kennedy and Green, who came at him a bit front on. Dean gets a bit of a tackle. Comes back towards Alvin, who tries to get a hand pass away. Couldn't. Comes back to Alvin. He got rid of it. No, he's still playing it in front of him. Still pushing it along in front of him. Ball they crawl. Holding the man they call. Umpire Robinson lets it go. Boundary umpire Sporton will put it back into play right in front of the members' pavilion, which is packed to capacity. 30 minutes gone first term. 3 points the difference. Deere gets a fist to it. Goes to Glasgow of Carlton. Kicks up towards the grandstand wing. Overrun. Picked up by Collins. Been pretty busy. Gets a little grubber kick along the ground. And it's out of bounds as Dean comes in into Greg Deere. Carlton 3-5-23. Hawthorn 3 goals 2-20. The Blues lead by 3 points. 30.5 minutes gone first term.
It's on Hawthorn's half-forward line. They could turn in front at quarter time with a bit of luck here. They can. The kick by Curran in towards full forward. A chance for Brereton. Punched away by Silvani very athletically. The ball spills away from Tuck. It's picked up by Russo. So Brereton's by himself, and so is Kennedy. Oh, coming in Aitken. But Kennedy's claimed the mark, and he's been paid it.
I don't think he did.
John Kennedy of Hawthorn is marked 25 metres out from goal, and Hawthorn, after a fairly sluggish first 25 minutes of this first quarter, can possibly turn, and it's quarter time. There goes the siren. Hawthorn could turn in front. The kick by Kennedy to the main scoreboard or City, and it's perfect. He's put it through. Hawthorn in front by 3 points at quarter time. Scoreboard at the MCG for Kennedy's second goal. Hawthorn 4-2-26. Carlton 3-5-23. For Hawthorn, Kennedy 2. 1 each to Platten and Di Domenico. For Carlton, Johnston 2 and Hunter 1. Hawthorn by 3. 4-2-26. Carlton 3-5-23. What's happening, Gareth?
Gareth Andrews, that did indicate.
Oh, the mark. We're looking at the mark on the replay. Okay, Biggs, fantastic first quarter.
Did we see the mark and replay?
Yes.
And was it a mark? Clear mark.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a beauty by Kennedy, because I would have laid any odds that he wouldn't have taken that mark, because the Carlton pressure, as it has been throughout this match so far, was certainly applied there, and it was just a sheer guts, I suppose, and a lot of football ability that allowed Kennedy to take it. And how disappointed would Robert Walls have been at the end of this quarter, because Carlton blew away a lot of chances, I would have suggested, with non-productive work on their forward line. They were so completely in command up there. Dennis was a fine player for them. Johnson, the example setter, was playing very well. Dorotich looked dangerous. Kernahan was picking up kicks. They had clear winners, and it did appear at the start of that term that the Hawthorn defence looked very rattled indeed, except for Langford. He was cool. Ayres did a little, but apart from that, they had few winners back there, and Carlton just weren't putting it on the scoreboard. Absolutely amazing. And the Hawks, as we've seen so many times from them, completely outclassed for much of that quarter, and able to come back with sheer determination. I suppose a lot of it could be put down to the brilliance of Di Domenico, who showed a lot of courage, and a few Carlton players who did apply vigour very well at the start of the quarter. No doubt realising just what they would have to do to Hawthorn to perhaps slow them down a little bit further, but they applied vigour very fairly and very well. But then they became a little crude, because two of their players have been reported. The big fellow, Madden, reported. Johnson reported. So there you go. But every credit to Hawthorn. They had few good players in the term, but they had a few that really stuck to the task. Di Domenico was no better. I don't suppose there was no better one out there than him. But here they are, leading at a quarter time by three points. Amazing.
At quarter time in the 87 grand final, Hawthorn 4-2-26, Carlton 3-5-23. The Hawks by 3 points, and they kicked those 4 goals. Jack Cameron in the time-on period of the first quarter. The Blues at one stage led by 21 points. Ian Cleland, first of all, the umpiring in the first quarter from Ian Robinson and Rowan Saws.
Not very impressive from Ian Robinson. I think Saws has been okay. There's been 8 free kicks to both sides, and there's been 8 ball-ups, so 24 free kicks and ball-ups, so they've been really stopping the flow of game, and I've been thinking that they haven't given enough free kicks at the right times, and I thought this game could have got a little bit out of hand. 2 Carlton players reported, and deservedly so. I thought Ian Robinson's 2 mistakes were both against Hawthorn. The free kick that Platten should have got up on the half-forward line, half-back line at least, which was given against him for holding the ball, was a ridiculous decision, because he was grabbed by the ankles, number one, and then went down the other end. I just couldn't believe that Ian Robinson would give a decision like that. But he is out there, and he's the man doing the grand final, and I'm afraid he's got to pick up a little bit. I'm not impressed.
David Mackay from the Carlton point of view, after dominating for 25 minutes, to be 21 points in front and now turn 3 points down, will be very disappointing for the Blues.
Yes, it was disappointing. Certainly some undisciplined play from Carlton in that time-on period, and it certainly cost them dearly. But it's interesting, Carlton made some very interesting tactical moves. I think in the 86 grand final they were certainly beaten tactically right from the start. They started with Dorotich at full forward, and that's worked reasonably well. Robertson has gone, is picking up Dipper. Kennedy, who normally plays in the back pockets, playing out on a wing on tagging Green. Reece Jones in a strange position is tagging Brereton, and Alvin is doing a top job on Buckenara. On the following division, Tucker's tagging Bradley, so they're either playing in the centre or ruck roving, and Nailey is being tagged by Collins. And from Carlton's point of view, Platten is a very dangerous player, and Glascott is tagging him at the moment. And Glascott's not doing a bad job, although Platten always looks dangerous.
David Mackay summing up at quarter time. We'll have all the boys at half time, about to start the second term of the 87 grand final. Rowan Saws has the footy. Hawthorn going to the Hunt Road goal. Carlton to the big scoreboard end. Hawthorn 4-2. Carlton 3 goals, 5. The Hawks by 3 points.
27 degrees here in Melbourne. Up goes Deer, but Madden wins again. Coming through is Tuck, and Tuck will get the kick. No, he won't. He's grabbed down from behind by Dennis. The ball spills towards Platten. Pushed in the back. No free kick. Handball out towards Schwab, who gives it to Tuck. Tuck now in towards Buckenara. After him is Alvin, who assumes the front position. Buckenara goes to ground and just grabbed Alvin, and Alvin will take the free kick on the 50-metre defensive line.
Over in front of the Southern stand, the famous Bay 13 at the MCG, Tommy Alvin of Carlton. Out towards the crest, looking for Justin Madden. He couldn't hold the mark. The ball to ground. Knocked on, attempted a little kick for Carlton. The Carlton player grabbed without the ball. It spills free, but Glascott takes the mark on the defensive side of the crest. Gets the handball away to Bradley. Bradley near the boundary line. Left foot to the in towards half forward. Just over the head of Dennis. Jenke comes in, collides with Dennis as Kernahan falls over. Schwab goes to ground. Knocked on for Carlton by Dennis, but out of bounds it goes, and it's still pretty tough out there at left half forward for Carlton.
In the first quarter, Graham, Glascott 7 kicks, Johnston 7, Dennis 5, and for Hawthorn, Langford 5, Russo, Tuck and Dipper 4 each.
Thrown in at left half forward for the Blues, going to the big scoreboard goal in this second term. Madden and Deere nullify another quick kick by Platten. Doesn't go very far. Michael Kennedy couldn't control it. Green tackles him, but he gets the hand pass away to Bradley. Bradley gives it back to Aitken, who has to double back and kick high, floating it in towards half forward. Greg Deere comes in. Oh, nearly a good mark by Dennis with the float of the ball. Spills for Nailey. He's close to the boundary line. He couldn't control it. And it's out of bounds once more at left half forward for the Blues. 1.5 minutes second term. Carlton 3-5-23. Lead Hawthorn 4-2-26.
Boundary throw in on the practice pitch area. They go to ground. Chance for Kernahan. Picks up outside 50. Scrubby old kicking towards half forward. Hunter picks it up. Gets the handball beautifully on the Bradley. Goal coming up for Carlton. And he slams it through. And Carlton back in front by 3 points here at the MCG in the grand final. Craig Bradley on the run. Broke clear, had plenty of space, and has popped it through for Carlton's fourth goal. They lead 4-5-29 to Hawthorn 4-2-26. And it's 3 points to Carlton.
How smart is that fellow by the name of Hunter? And he can think very quickly too, can't he? Lovely handball that was. He knew he was hotly pressed. Got it away and, of course, gave Bradley the easiest of chances. Just sheer brilliant thinking by Ken Hunter.
2.5 first term. The Blues back in front by 3 points. They've scored the first goal in the second quarter against me. Ball tapped down. Johnston runs at Dipper Domenico. Free kick will go to Dipper Domenico for a high one. Johnston running at him with the raised elbow again. He got reported for striking Dipper in the first term.
I'd say he's thrown caution to the breeze, Graham.
But I'll tell you what, Jono can do a lot of harm to his side if he continues with that reckless type of play.
In towards centre half forward, Brereton uncontested, drops the sitter, gets a bit of a shove all over the back. Coming away with it for Carlton is Rhys Jones from the square line up to half forward, and Collins takes the mark on his chest for Hawthorn, doing a pretty fair job on Fraser Murphy. Number 40, the blonde for Hawthorn, Collins. Down the centre of the ground he goes, looking for Tuck. Dean up over the top. Swab with the opportunity to push the ball forward. Nailey is there. He's caught with the ball. The umpire said pinned to him by Schwab, the tackling player, and it's going to be bounced by Rowan Saws just inside the centre square with Hawthorn into attack. Brereton certainly missing a mark he should have taken. Deere gets the tap forward for Hawthorn, but goes to Glascott of Carlton. His handball is a good one to Rhys Jones. Rhys Jones goes back to Johnston in the middle. Johnson draws the player over the top to Robertson. It's good play. Robertson is off. The left foot pass to Dorotich. A beauty. Good running, positive football by Carlton. Perfect pass by Shane Robertson onto the chest of Dorotich, who's marked 40 metres from goal directly in front.
Bradley's got the free kick on the wing on the southern side in front of, I guess, about Bay 14. You can't tell these days. The kick by Bradley. Holding up a bit. Let's see. Up goes Kernahan, third in line. Comes to Collins. Can't control it. Carlton player. Yes, they cry ball, the crowd. As the Carlton player, I thought, may have had possession. The umpire didn't seem to think so. And there'll be a ball up. Between centre and centre half forward, with Carlton into attack, they're kicking to the main scoreboard or city end of the MCG. 27 degrees. Madden, a beautiful tap. It goes to Robertson, who's grabbed, but that would have been a bit touchy, that one, if it had been played a free kick. Picked up by Collins. From half back now, Collins goes out wide, out towards Buckenara. Buckenara's taken a beauty. Taking a great mark, Buckenara. Swab's by himself on the 50-metre line. He spotted him, although the foot pass is not good. In comes Dean. Swab's got to wait for the ball to bounce. He gets the handball out. The ball knocked out towards Kennedy. He's grabbed by Aitken. Picked up by Kennedy. Has a shot for goal. Kennedy's taken, I'd say. I think he's put it through. No, he just missed. Well, looking at the flight of the ball and the reaction of the goal umpire, I really thought that may have been through for a big one. Much needed one for Hawthorn. It's a behind. Carlton 5-5, Hawthorn 4-3.
Rhys Jones kicks well straight down the ground. He didn't mind to play on. Robertson was grabbed. He gave him plenty of time to get rid of it. He kicks it wide for Alvin. Given a bit of a shove by Dipper Domenico, but the ball bounces out of bounds as Alvin lost his balance And G gave him plenty of time after saying play on. I don't know why the play on was given.
Well, he feigned the hand pass.
Thanks, Douglas. 8.5 second term. Carlton 5-5-35. 8 points in front of Hawthorn, 4-3-27. Chance there for Buckenara. Goes for a little swatty hand pass. Can't get it out. Now he can. Deer and Nally. Deer claims Nally's holding the ball. The umpire says, give it to me. He's going to bounce it. Left half forward for Hawthorn in front of the players' race in the bowels of the Northern Stand, the Olympic stand here at the MCG. 9 minutes gone. Carlton leading in the second term by 8 points, 35-27. Greg Deer gets up high, but it comes down to Johnson, who kicks off the right boot back towards the wing. Dipiadomenico in front of Murphy, takes the mark. He's inside the crest. Goes for the hand pass away to the pacey Pritchard. Pritchard, the long kick from a standing start to full forward. Oh, good fist away, Silvani. Fantastic fist away from Deer. As the Hawthorn players were waiting, Brereton and Buckenara, they didn't fly. But Silvani got a positive thump to it and put it out of bounds. In the sleeveless sweater today is Stephen Silvani. 10 metres from the behind post, left forward pocket. Over the back of the packets, tap to Russo. Quick snap at goal. And it's just offline. Good ruck work. Russo's quick snap just missing. Behind a Hawthorn, 4-4-28. 7 points behind the Blues, 5-5-35.
There's possibly a bit of ruck work we've seen so far in this match.
It's by Green, I think, too. The kick in by Silvani, straight up the centre. Looking for Aitken, kept his eye on the ball and takes a beauty at centre half-back. Completely outmanoeuvred Green. Aitken thought about the hand pass. He will go. Oh, straight through Johnson's fingers. Green pounces. Oh, I thought Johnson might have grabbed Green. He's hurt him too. He might have gone underneath, you think, Graham. The handball by Kennedy, Michael Kennedy. Comes up towards Curran. Curran's hand pass. The ball knocked away from Kennedy by Johnston. A chance for Glascott. He gets a call out wide from Hunter, who showed terrific courage. No, it's not Hunter, it's Bradley out there. Handball back to Aitken. Carlton going forward now. Sells to Dunby beautifully. Aitken at half forward. Goes long to Dorotich. Oh, he gets a push in the back. The ball spills behind towards Kernahan, but the ball fisted away by Langford, and it's out of bounds left forward pocket.
While we wait for it to come in, Mark Cutler has some news on Michael Tuck.
Yes, Graham, the club doctor's been checking Michael Tuck very closely, and he appears to have a bit of concussion. His vision's been checked, and he's had a very vicious-looking instrument being thrust around his face, and he doesn't look good. He hasn't actually got up off the ground since.
The snap by Glascott from the boundary throw-in is offline and through from behind for Carlton. Scoreboard at the MCG, Carlton 5-6-36, Hawthorn 4-4-28. 11 minutes in the second quarter.
Looks like Tuck might be going to the rooms, going with Hawthorn trainer. 11 minutes gone, second term, 5-6-36 Carlton. Hawthorn 4-4-28. Kicked in by Mew. He goes for Collins and Murphy out there on the southern stand wing. Murphy almost held the mark. Goes to ground. Collins with the opportunity. Tries to get round Murphy. Will get a free kick for a trip, will Collins.
Almost broke his legs off halfway down.
Went to handball from in front of the mark, so it must go back.
What about a report?
For a trip. Handball goes to Schwab. Back to Collins. Can Hawthorn get a bit of movement going? Collins off the left boot. No one home. Rhys Jones should mark uncontested and does it half back. Carlton player Robertson is coming off. Shane Robertson and Gleeson is going on. The kick by Rhys Jones back in towards the middle. Not covering a lot of distance, but Hunter in front, fisted away by Mew. The base of the pack, Platten drives Hawthorn back into attack. Rhys Jones waiting underneath it. Silvani again, a fantastic thump away. Goes about 30 metres towards the boundary line. There's a Carlton player down the middle of the ground. Kenny Hunter's down. Didn't see what happened. He's very groggy.
And Graham Tuckey got halfway to the rooms and has come back to the bench again.
Right half forward for Hawthorn, who trailed by, 9 points. Darley couldn't take it with him. Shoveled out, two hands, go, no. Picked up by Dean. Dean kicks high. Getting underneath it, Dipiadomenico. Strong hands, and the Big Dipper takes the mark. Goes for the long handball over the top to Mew. Mew with a hurried kick from inside the centre square towards full forward. Fisted away this time by Albin. Brereton will be first to the ball. Can they shepherd for him? Yes, they do. Go short, says Kennedy. Oh, he goes over his head. Chance now for Kennedy. Can he knock it on? No, he can't. Yes, it comes out to Curran. Left foot snap. Goal. No. Cross the face behind.
Stopped. A check side and skidded. But unlucky was Curran.
4-5-29 Hawthorn, 5-6-36 Carlton. 13 minutes gone, second term.
Oh, shocking kick in by Rhys Jones, Graham. Carlton outnumbered out there 2-1. Oh, Greg there is there.
Did well.
Gleeson tipped over. A good hip and shoulder by a Carlton player on a Hawthorn player. And there'll be a ball up on the crest on the outer side of his.
Curran nearly beheaded. So don't mind.
A ball up on the wing on the southern side. Greg Deer in ruck, along with Madden. Deer wins that one. A beaut palm out towards Curran. He's got a break on the field now. Can he pick it up? He can. He should have probably gone short towards Schwab, but he's gone long inside the 50-metre square. Silvani again punches the ball outside 50, coming in as Bradley. Fight, but the ball is over and out for boundary throw in, 65 metres away from Hawthorn's goal. They're kicking for the punt road end. It's on the southern half-forward flank, about 65 metres out from goal.
Boundary throw in, so Paul Deere comes up from the full forward line to contest the forward half ruck work against Justin Madden, a world record short one. Comes back to Dean. Dean close to the boundary line, clears towards the wing. Over the top comes Kernahan and Langford. A good handball from Pritchard. Back to Langford. Puts Hawthorn back into attack. The high kick Langford. Up the half forward. Alvin High couldn't hold it. A great effort. Ball spills. Aitken playing well. Comes away with it with strong defensive work off the left boot. Up the half forward, Ayres and Meldrum, fisted away by Ayres, out towards Langford, handballs back to Collins, who's been a pretty good Hawthorn player,
yes.
Goes into the middle, it's all Hawthorn, it's marked by Schwab, breaks out of a tackle, goes short towards Dip Domenico, one-hander, the big dipper, runs just outside 50, fires at goal to Brereton, Brereton brought down, can he kick it off the ground? No, he can't, forced through by Reece Jones, great work by the Reece, behind the Hawthorn, rushed. The Blues are 5-6-36, Hawthorn 4-6-30, 14 and a half minutes gone, second term, the Blues lead by 6 points.
Well, it's tough and you've got to earn your kicks in grand finals, but Hawthorn aren't earning too many, if you know what I mean.
Kick in by Reece Jones, doesn't travel all that far, but Madden marks outside 50 for Carlton. Handball across to Johnston, Johnston's kick now from half-back. Something happened behind play, no, I heard a roar.
Jenkins mark.
The mark going to Jenke at centre-half-back for Hawthorn, had a quick look back. Jenke at centre-half-back. Out there is Schwab. Nailey coming in late, but Schwab handball over the top to Russo. Hawthorn going forward now. Russo into Brereton. Behind will be Reece Jones. Punches. Brereton grab. No free kick. No free kick for Brereton. The ball spills out towards Johnson again. He's playing well. Looking for Nailey. Nailey's marked on the southern wing. Gee, Brereton unlucky there not to get a free kick. Kick by Nailey from wing towards the practice pitch area. The ball punched down beautifully by Madden. Onto Meldrum. One bounce inside 50. Goes short towards Hunter, who'll come and takes it. Third in line, Hunter. It just floated over the top of Abbott and Dorotage. And Hunter swooping on the ball. Yeah, Chris Mew knocked out, KO'd last week. Cannot raise the gallop so far in this match. Now Hunter, 35 metres out. Main scoreboard, he's kicked it off the side of his boot, and I think it might be out of bounds. No, it's just snuck in for a behind, but straight from the boot. It never looked likely. Scoreboard at the MCG. Carlton 5-7-37. Hawthorn 4-6-30. 16 minutes in the second quarter as Ayres kicks to himself.
And where does he go? He hasn't got many options. It's Melbourne on a Saturday afternoon. Tommy Alvin playing a blinder on Buckenara. Has it crest out of side. Drives the Blues back into attack. Carlton, the numbers there. The ball knocked away. Chance this time for Mew. Now it comes down towards Ginger Gleeson. He's caught with the ball. Took a fortnight. Handball Langford. Good to Russo. Russo under pressure gets it back to Langford. Out to Jenke. Cool Hawthorn defensive work. Schwab calling for it short. Jenke's running it. Has a bounce. Keep running it. He has a second bounce. Make him stretch. He has a third bounce. Has it on the crest. Gives it to Kennedy. Back to Jenke. Jenke sidesteps. Back to Pritchard. They've got the ball on the crest out of wing. He goes short to Schwab and finds him at the point of the square. He was off. He has support. Has a bit of shepherding. Great work by Silvani again as he's hurt. Silvani's hurt his leg. Buckenara goes down. Ball underneath him. Silvani's hurt his leg. He's limping as he smothered that kick by Schwab. His defensive skills magnificent. But Stephen Silvani is hurt. 17 minutes and 15 seconds gone in the second term, and the Blues lead by 7 points.
It's not the one I think he had the operation on, Graham. The ball knocked down by Madden, taken away by Aitken, who's playing well. He's had a good final series. The ball touched as he kicks it right across the half-back line, and players not really over-exerting when they realised that the ball was going to beat them. And
Trainer
they slowed
signalled.
up. The physio going out. David Mackay. Yeah, the physio. Thank you. Boundary throw in front of Bay 14. Paul Deere going up. The ball rebound off Schwab's fingers. The ball comes to ground, picked up by Curran. Handball's out of the pack to Green. Gives it across to Buckenara. Hand pass almost in front. That one from Buckenara. Down there is Dean, who handballs right across the full back line. Now, here's a chance for Carlton. Reece Jones, Meldrum by himself. He can have 6 bounces. He's had one. He's on the half back line. Up into the wing on the member side. Delays, only had 1 bounce. Delayed his kick, no one ready to kick it to, because Kernahan's outnumbered 2-1. The ball comes down towards Abbott, is it, or Greg Deere. Greg Deere on half-back. A lackadaisical kick, but it might be okay as Tipper comes in and marks, plays on. He wanted support there from Kennedy, wasn't forthcoming. He goes long. Carron's marked 20 metres out from goal. Well, it came off as Dipper wanted the hand pass to Kennedy. Kennedy stopped running. So Dipper was forced to kick, and luck's a fortune because Carron's marked at centre half forward about 20 metres out from goal. This will make it a point the difference in the grand final. The kick by Peter Carron is on its way, and he's missed it. It's still a goal the difference. Scoreboard at the MCG, Carlton 5-7, Hawthorn 4-7.
3 behinds to Peter Carron in the grand final. 19 minutes gone, second term. 1 goal the difference. 5 marks to Di Domenico this quarter. Rhys Jones, a perfect kick. Loose marking again by the Hawthorn players as Aitken marks at half-back, southern stand side. The Blues 5-7, Hawthorn 4-7 on a scorching hot September day. Running onto the ball is Gleeson. Paul Deere right down there to tap the ball away from him and put it out of bounds between wing and half forward for the Blues. Justin Madden is going to have a spell at full forward. Deere has followed him back. So is Dorotic doing a bit of ruck work for Carlton. He is against Abbott at the 20-minute mark of the second term. Dorotic goes up the ball to ground, comes to Langford. Langford gets a hurried kick back towards the wing. Spill's okay for Hawthorn because Kennedy takes the mark. John Kennedy on the crest, southern stand side, 15 metres, which is a generous one. He doesn't take it. Long handball back into the centre towards Ayres. Ayres from the centre, that's a good long kick towards full forward. Rhys Jones in front. Oh, he takes the mark. Great move by the Blue Baggers. Here's Meldon again, a shocking kick, backing towards the centre. Okay, the bounce for Abbott. Good shepherding. It comes to Dipper. He handballs to Green, a bad one. Green tries to knock it out for Abbott. Here's Meldon with pace. Getting away. Chance now for Carlton's Michael Kennedy. He picks up. Gets back. He's going to be tackled by Platten just as he gets boot the ball. Up to half forward. Hunter fisted away. At the fall of the ball though is Gleeson. Can he pick it up? Yes, he does cleverly. Goes for the left boot. Up towards the player coming out was Nailey with a sleeveless sweater. He's tricked. Oh, comes back to Nailey. Fumble by Langford. Nailey under his arm. He went too far. Langford grabs him just as he got beat the ball, and it's a behind. Nailey now to sleeveless sweater. And Carlton go to 5-8, 38, 7 points in front of Hawthorn, 4-7, 31, 20 and a half minutes second term.
Gee, nail-biting stuff. What a great game.
The kick in by Mew. Mackenzie on the ground, replacing Justin Madden. And Morris is still on the bench after getting that jarred knee, and he's got a huge bandage on it. The kick by Hawthorn finds Paul Deere on the wing. Running down the ground is Carron. Carron's got his eye on it. Takes a beauty on 50. Carron, oh yes, he's going to be paid the mark, and rightly so, as Kennedy swooped on the ball. Now Peter Carron will kick from 55 metres out. Brereton's down in the goal square for the big mark. Rhys Jones, I don't think it's 100% Rhys Jones. His kicking's been very much astray. The kick by Carron's going to be about 10 or 12 metres short. Up goes Dorotic playing in defence now. Thumps the ball towards the boundary line, and it's out of bounds right forward pocket at the Punt Road end with Hawthorn deep into attack.
Morris to come back on for Hawthorn and Paul Deere coming off. 21 and a half minutes gone, second term. Boundary throw in, Dorotic rucking, gets it down to Rhys Jones in front of the pack. He goes for the safety of the boundary line as Michael Kennedy comes in, and it's out of bounds. Paul Deere off, Morris back on for Hawthorn. Carlton 5-8, 38, lead the Hawks 4-7, 31. It will be a survival of the fittest this afternoon for everyone. Throwing a world record, grabbed by Dean, he's caught with the ball. Ball spills free, umpire Robinson no doubt will bounce that one. 30 metres from the goal, Hawthorn is attacking at the Punt Road end. The ball thrown a long way, went to Dean, he grabbed it and didn't make much effort to get rid of it. As Robinson comes in to bounce it. Barry Gavin, the Hawthorn physio, working overtime. Going back to have a look at Peter Russo, who's playing on Mark Nailey and doing a pretty good job. Bounce favours Dorotic. He smashes it back towards Hawthorn's goal. Platten goes for, he gets a bit of a shove as he tried to get a handball away. Still there. Platten working hard, but the umpire's blown the whistle for a ball up. 1 on about 4. Johnny Platten working hard. I thought he tried to get it away to John Kennedy, who was skirting the packs. 22 and a half minutes second quarter. Carlton 5-8, 38. Hawthorn 4-7, 31.
Good defensive work by Silvani too, Graham. The Water Boys are working overtime as Schwab gets a kick. No, it wasn't Schwab, it's Platten. Kicking towards the forward pocket. Up goes Brereton, dropped the sitter. That's the second one he's dropped today. Well, when I say a sitter, it was a fairly hard one, but I think it should have been taken. Should have. And that would have been a gift goal. It would have levelled the score, but Carlton lead by a goal, 5-8 to 4-8. The kick in to Rhys Jones. It would have come from Silvani as I was looking up at the scoreboard, and the kick by Rhys Jones, finding the safety of the boundary on the southern side for a throw in. Carlton 5-8, Hawthorn 4-8, boundary throw in.
Just 2 goals in this term. The Blues have added 2 goals to Hawthorn's 0.
What a classic encounter it's been so far. The boundary throw in, Dorotic out there with Abbott. Abbott gets the tap, but he does direct it. It goes to Pritchard in the finish. Pritchard's kick towards half forward. Up comes Kennedy. Kennedy, well, he made his own play. He's done well. Picks it up on half forward. Goes towards Brereton. It's on the bounce. He's fumbling badly, Brereton. He gets a push in the back. No free kick. In comes Morris. He goes to ground, gets a push in the back. The ball comes out to Silvani. Silvani will find McKenzie just on. McKenzie, can he get around? Let's see, Greg Deary can. Handball over to Fraser Murphy. Murphy now with Collins coming in. Murphy goes long. From behind it'll be Kernahan or Mew. I thought he had it, but he left it behind. Picked up by Hunter. Snapshot for goal. Kernahan's underneath it. It's on the bounce. Kernahan this way, that away. Has he kicked it through? He might have kicked it in mid-air. Kernahan's kicked it. Well, it went like a rocket from about 15 metres out. I'd love to see the replay. I'm not sure whether he even took possession of it. He might have just socketed the ball in mid-air. Love to see it because it was slick as can be. Carlton lead by 2 goals. Replay not up yet. Carlton 6-8-44. Here it comes now as the kick by Hunter goes in towards goal. And let's see. When he kicked it, he's half volley. Yeah, he's put it through Kernahan. Carlton 6-8, Hawthorn 4-8.
24 and a half minutes gone, second term, Douglas.
Yes, I think he just sort of guided onto the boot with one hand, Graham.
Tap down, kick by Michael Kennedy, rebounds okay for Green. Green in the centre for Hawthorn. The long kick straight down the ground. Brereton and Buckenara are both quiet players. Nearly a fine mark to Alvin. Good shepherding. Great play by Alvin. The ball spills free though to Buckenara. Gets it to go. What's he done? He's played a free kick for a push in the back.
To Alvin.
And Brereton can't believe it.
Brereton can believe it all right because he's getting nothing.
Morris often called here back on for Hawthorn.
Morris
he's limping badly.
And I'm speechless.
No, you're not. You're not speechless. But it's hard to understand just what's going on out there in the minds of a man in white.
Into time on by 20 seconds. Alvin is making speechless. Great mark. Not paid to Hunter. Let's see. Aiken goes down. Should have been a free kick. The ball knocked out of the pack by Curran. It goes to Greg Deere. His handball intercepted by Dennis. Kick off the ground by Ayres. It runs up the shoulder of Green. Comes on towards Di Domenico. Kennedy of Carlton battling well. Ball lay call. The ball picked up by Green. Good defensive work by Glasgow. And the ball is over and out. Smokey, are you still speechless?
25 minutes and 50 seconds gone, second term. The Blues by 12 points, 6-8-44 to 4-8-32 in the 1987 VFL Grand Final. Ball back into play. Deere rucking against Dorotich. The ball at the back of the pack. Dorotich, she tries to crash his way through. Rugby style. Chance for Murphy. He tried to crash his way through. Aitken has a fresh air kick at the ball. Kennedy in there working hard. And it's going to be bounced. He's about... no comment as Pritchard gets up the bottom man. On the crest.
Time on, Graham. Second quarter, about 1 minute and 25 seconds.
The Blues by 12 points. Bounce favours Deere. Dorotich does well. Rebounds towards Murphy. Should get a free kick for being grabbed. He will. Murphy on the crest. Grandstand wing. Fraser Murphy for Carlton. In towards centre half forward. Hunter the target. Abbott there with Mew. The ball spills. Overrun by Johnston. McKenzie throws himself at the ball. He's bottled up at centre half forward and he was going to be free kick for holding. That's about the first time today that's been paid in Cleveland. The holding the ball.
About to come on, Graham.
Yes, it is the first time that Robinson's given a free kick against a player for doing that, and he should have given more.
Mew from centre half back for Hawthorn, straight down the ground. He looks a distressed player. Dorotich uncontested takes the mark at centre half back for the Blues.
Yes, I'll agree with that. Distressed exactly.
Short. Silvani marks in the centre of the ground. Goes for the long kick. Greg Deere, another distressed player coming off, backing himself in as Langford, and he marks in front of Kernahan. Did well. Abbott makes a bit of space at half-back. He goes a bit further towards Di Domenico. Fraser Murphy over the back. The ball spills. Leave it for me, says the Big Dipper, because he's raw tucks just on the ground. He goes for the handball over the top to Collins. Collins has got a couple of options. He's going to run it himself. No, he doesn't. He goes for a foot pass now. In towards Buckenara, who gets a reasonable bounce. Buckenara, this way, that away in the centre. Goes to Brereton, who's having a poor day. Rhys Jones comes over there. Brereton's got it this time. He marks, plays on, fires from half forward, and he has put it through for a behind. Kennedy saying, I'm out there in front of goal. Tuck was running back into the square. Brereton's first score. Hawks by 11 points in arrears. Carlton 6-8-44. Hawthorn 4-9-33. 28 minutes. Second term. Glasgow goes in short.
I tell you what, Graham Brereton wanted to do this spectacular thing there. He'd made his mind up. The kick in by Kennedy. Silvani's out there. Spider-Man controls it. Didn't take the mark, but terrific poise by Silvani. Kicks the ball to Meldrum. He wants a good bounce. Jenky, good harassment there. Punches the ball away. Abbott is out there. Kicks off the ground, and it's half-time in the 1987 Grand Final. Carlton lead by 11 points here. A big crowd at the MCG. A magnificent day. The scoreboard at half-time sees Carlton 6-8-44 to Hawthorn 4-9-33. Carlton by 11 points. The goal kickers for the leading team, Carlton. 2 to Johnston and singles to Kernahan, Dorotich, Hunter and Bradley. And for Hawthorn, who were goalless in that quarter, I've missed one, Graham, so help me out here. Dippy Domenico, Kennedy and Platten. And Kennedy, in fact, has kicked 2. So 2 goals to Kennedy and 1 each to Dippy Domenico and Platten.
And Michael Tucker's come out after half-time in what must be one of his rare occasions in a sleeveless sweater. He's led them out, and there you go. We won't pick him up at all. Tucker in a sleeveless sweater.
A tiara and some pearls. He'd look terrific, Graham, wouldn't he?
And Peter, the official placings in that sprint, Russell Richards first, Terry Keys second, and David Palm third.
Yes, first prize $2,000, $800 for second, and $200. And Clelo had the audacity with a field of 10 to ask me why didn't I mention the galloping Clydesdale, Russell Richards, when he won the footballer sprint. But Terry Keys is a very big boy, but I understand that he was an under-16 sprint champion, so quite athletic for his size. He's built very much like Tony Lockett, I guess.
Okay, finally to sum up on the Hawthorn defence, Huey Mitchell.
Yes, Graham, I thought in the early stage, in the first quarter, the Hawthorn defence came under a tremendous amount of pressure, and that was mainly due to one player in Wayne Johnson. I thought the first 10 minutes he was the leader for Carlton by kicking a couple of goals and getting them on their way. But I think the move of Langford on Kernahan is paying dividends at the moment. Kernahan hasn't had much influence on the game at this stage. And, of course, every time Langford plays on Kernahan, he always seems to have the upper hand. Kennedy getting moved down to the forward line was also a good move. He kicked a couple of goals in that first term. And I've always thought Kennedy has always been a forward player. He does produce his best football up in the forward line, so that was a good move. Jenky's doing a very good, solid game on that half-back line. He's picking up a lot of kicks. He disposes the ball very well, and he's doing his job very, very nicely for the Hawthorn side. But one player is certainly a problem to Alan Jeans is Chris Mew. I think he's still suffering from that bad knock he received last week. He just seems to be completely lost today. His judgment's not there. He just doesn't seem to have his mind on the job, and I think at this stage it may be a good move if they put him down the forward line, because they've got a few problems in that area. Gary Ayres, well, he's certainly doing his good, reliable job as always there when he's needed, picking up plenty of kicks, and certainly is one of Hawthorn's better players. But at this stage, their back line is a little bit unsettled. I think Chris Mew is the man that they're worried about. I would say most of the other players are doing particularly well, but from Carlton's point of view, I think that they certainly will put a lot more pressure during the second half on that Hawthorn defence.
Thanks, Huey. Going to the bench for the start of the second half, McKenzie and Gleeson for Carlton, and for Hawthorn, Paul Deere and Russell Morris, who obviously is certainly gone into the game with some knee problem. We're about to start the second half of the 87 Grand Final. Carlton 6-8-44 lead Hawthorn 4 goals 9-33. Ian Robinson has the footy, getting the OK from Stephen Kernahan. And here we go.
Fantastic day in Melbourne for football. At half-time, Carlton lead by 11 points after Hawthorn led by 3 at quarter time. The centre bounce, not a bad one by umpire Robinson. Madden wins, gives Carlton first use of the ball, but Nailey can't do much with it. Kernahan, a big hip and shoulder on the Hawthorn player who's gone down. The ball kicked up towards the half-forward line. A chance here for Kennedy. Kennedy gets the hand pass away to Platten. Lumbering after him is another number 44, Justin Madden. Now Platten on the half-forward line. Goes in towards Curran. Curran one grab, but not the second. He gets a push. Silvani pushed him, and Curran will take the free kick. Swab was the man who got hit front on. A bit shaky in the centre.
Well, not front on. It was a hip and shoulder, Peter, by Kernahan. A good clean one, but it shook him.
Curran on the members' flank, half-forward flank, will kick from 50 metres out. The city end. Curran dropped punt on its way. It's going to fade a little bit. Hawthorn going to attack. The ball punched away by Carlton's defence again. Taking a leaf out of Melbourne's book. And Hawthorn go to 4-10-34, trailing by 10 points. Carlton 6-8-44.
Ball kicked in by Rhys Jones. He comes to the grandstand side. Deere does well to fist away. It goes down to Glasgow Eyes. Beautifully dispossessed by Platten. Platten close to the boundary line. In towards full forward. Just offline. Chance for Silvani. Out of bounds after being touched close to the behind post. Good play by Platten to take it away from Glasgow. 1.5 minutes, third quarter for the 87 grand final. And Hawthorn trail by 10 points. Carlton 6-8-44. Hawthorn 4-10-34. Madden pushes it in front of the pack. Rebounds to Dean of Carlton. He kicks wide to the wing. Southern stand side. Langford in front of Kernahan. Takes the mark on his chest. Big Deer calling forward across the point of the square. And he goes for the foot pass. Gets the quick hand pass away to Deer to Pritchard. A kick to full forward. Curran outnumbered. Spills to the back of the pack. A free kick over the shoulder. Back to Carlton. Justin Madden in the last line of defence. Goes to the southern stand side. Sun worrying the players. Oh, they misjudged it badly. Langford a mid-air kick in towards full forward. Curran takes the mark. Langford kicked the bouncing ball and it went 40 metres, I'd say, well inside, from outside 50 to about 15 metres from goal. And I'm not going to look at this kick because I've got Peter Curran for 4 behinds. Slide angle. Madden the man on the mark. Curran kicking to the goal at the big scoreboard end. That time he has put it through for a goal. The first goal this time going to Hawthorn after Carlton had kicked the first goal in both the first and second quarters. 4 points the difference. Carlton 6-8-44. Hawthorn 5-10-40.
Yes, well, that was so important for Hawthorn. Perhaps a little lucky, but very shrewd play by Langford then, because no Carlton player anticipated what Langford might do, but Curran found himself alone, and that was a strange situation for him to be in. And he made the most of the easy opportunity. Good stuff. 4 points behind the Hawks.
Back in the centre, umpire Rowan saw us to restart play. Greg Deere gets to tap the ball, thumped on by Russo. Brereton led the Carlton play underneath the ball. It's inside 50 for Hawthorn. A chance for Aiken. Brereton through the pack. Gets the handball away to Di Domenico. Elvin crashed him from behind. Rhys Jones caught. No free kick. The ball knocked out by Carlton. It goes to Bradley. Elvin still hovering. Hawthorn trying to get possession. It's on the 50-metre line at centre half forward. It spills out towards Nailey. Gets around Schwab. Gets a break, Nailey. Goes long. Oh, Carlton have got the numbers. Hunter. Oh, he should have marked it. He let it go. Oh, collision. Let's see. Dorotich is there. A chance for Mew to clear the ball away. He dribbles it outside the 15-metre line. It's dribbling towards the boundary line underneath Bay 13 for a boundary throw-in.
It's a shake of Kenny Hunter you got from Langford, I think it was, wasn't it?
Oh, the physical clashes. Carlton 6-8-44. Hawthorn 5-10-40. A boundary throw-in. Carlton into attack. And let's see, Madden gets the tap, a fairly feeble one though, almost at his feet. The ball comes out, it spills towards Abbott. Abbott's kick, I think, was off the body. Yes, it was of somebody. Bradley gets the handball away. Swab waiting for the ball, but it's bouncing fickily. In goes Fraser Murphy. He's done very little today. The ball taken away by Pritchard. Here's the kick is marked by Kennedy. Gets it out to Platten. Platten's foot pass, not a good one. A chance here now. See, it's Green and Meldrum. Meldrum wins. A left foot kick. Oh yes, Kernahan dives. He's taken the mark inside 50, but he had to shield his eyes from the sun to pick up the flight of the ball. He'll kick from about 48 metres out. Green a bit slow on that occasion. Now Stephen Kernahan, as Carlton lead by 4 points in the grand final, 5 minutes in the third quarter, really had to shield the sun. About 28 degrees.
Captain's goal wanted. Crucial, this one.
He's at centre half forward, 48 metres out at the punt road end. Stephen Kernahan, drop punts for goal. It's swirling and... Has he kicked it? I think he has. He's put it through. Kernahan's second goal. And Carlton get the goal back. They lost just a couple of minutes ago to lead by 10 points. Carlton 7-8, Hawthorn 5-10.
Yes, well, you said it, Peter. A definite lack of pace and quite obvious thing, Russell Green. Although that opportunity shouldn't have come Meldrum's way had Hawthorn been capable enough a few seconds before that.
One handball too many, Biggs, was it?
Yes.
Ball back in the centre, 5.5 minutes third term. Carlton 50, Hawthorn 40. The Blues by 10 points. Good bounce. Comes off the head, I think, of Greg Deere. Russo being carried forward. Buckenara gets a bit of a shove. Kicked off the ground, I think, by Di Domenico towards half forward. Brereton takes the mark. 35 metres from goal directly in front. That kicked off the ground by Dipper. It looked almost like it was. Going forward again, Brereton goes back. He's changed his boots at half-time. See if it can bring him a little bit better luck, because he didn't play particularly impressive football in the first half. Full marks to David Rhys-Jones, who kept him out of business. Dermot Brereton punting towards the big scoreboard goal. Hooked it badly. And through for a behind. Goal umpire Doug Purr says a behind to Brereton. He's second of the match. 9 points the difference. Hawthorn 5-11-41. Carlton 7 goals 8-50. 6.5 minutes third term. Silvani goes short to half-back, and Shane Robertson takes the mark for Carlton. Has a bounce. Coming round in front of the member stand. Good pass to Dennis, who gets in front of Ayres, now playing on him. Dennis marks in the shadows of the northern stand. Close to the grandstand wing in towards centre half forward. Sunawari. Kernahan from behind. Mew doesn't know where he is, but he falls over the ball. Comes out towards Big Madden. He loses it. Mew trying hard to get rid of it. Bradley takes it. Gets it out towards Johnson, who gets a bit of a shove. Schwab will clear for Hawthorn. Has a bounce. Everyone had stopped. Gee, they're going to be tired by the end of the day. Here comes Brereton. Over the top. The ball spills. Chance for Rhys-Jones. Dennis is there. Free kick to Carlton. Rhys-Jones, umpire Robinson said he was grabbed when not in possession of the football. 7 minutes and 15 seconds third term, and the Blues lead by 9 points.
Kick by Rhys-Jones up towards the 50-metre line. Kernahan being held, but dives. Picked up by Murphy of the Carlton. Touched off the boot. Underneath it was Hunter, but he's got a play on. I don't think he heard the call. Going in hard was Bradley. There'll be a ball up about 30 metres out from goal. I don't think he heard the call.
Touched off the boot.
It was touched, but I don't think he heard the call. He didn't seem to be eager.
Straight away it came from Source.
Yes, I know, but he was just emphasising that to Hunter, who was puzzled as to why he didn't get the mark.
Carlton into attack 30 metres out from goal. A chance for Dennis. A snapshot for goal. Offline and through from behind from 25 metres out. The scoreboard at the MCG, 28 degrees, 8 minutes in the third term. Carlton 7-9-51, lead by 10. Hawthorn 5-11-41.
Ayres kicks in for Hawthorn. He comes slightly to the northern stand side. Dippier the Minico the target. Over the back to Madden. The big fellow goes for a little dappy right foot kick up towards half forward. Taken by Langford. He's well tackled. Ball spills. Gnarly the hand pass to Meldrum. 40 metres out. He spears it in low, but he's well offline. And it bounces out of bounds near the behind post. Should have made more of that opportunity, should Paul Meldrum.
That's been the story of the Carlton game all day. Opportunities that they've squandered.
8.5 minutes third term. The Blues 7-9-51 lead. Hawthorn 5-11-41 by a margin of 10 points. Ball back into play. Langford against Kernahan. Langford the tap to plate. Oh, he handball straight to Dennis. He misses. Again from point blank range. Another behind. Dennis has kicked 2 behinds in about 30 seconds, and the Blues lead by 11 points. That was their margin at half time. 7-10-52 to Hawthorn. 5-11-41.
The VFL Grand Final around Australia and around the world on ABC, coming from 3-0 in Melbourne. The kick in by Chris Mew from the from the punt road end. Up goes Kernahan. He couldn't mark it, but he punches the ball and makes his own play. Sweating on him was Ayres, who gave him a hip and shoulder, but he was sweating on Kernahan getting that final possession, which didn't come Kernahan's way. The ball is out of bounds, left half forward flank, 45 metres out from Carlton's goal. Up goes Abbott, but he only succeeds in punching the ball to Dennis, who's finessing, looking for a free kick. Let's see, Pritchard, no, it's Collins there for Hawthorn, and there'll be a ball up 50 metres out from Carlton's goal. 9.5 minutes third term, Carlton 52, Hawthorn 41. A great struggle. Did Dorotich, I thought he might have put his hand on the back of Abbott, but he was held anyway. Abbott is going to get the free kick on the 50-metre defensive line. Up there is Aitken, also Greg Deere. The ball spills behind. Murphy looking for a free kick. The umpire running the wrong way. It won't be Murphy. It'll be Robertson. Robertson's got the free kick for being held. A drop punt in towards Hunter. Nailey looking for the spoils. There's none there. Punched away by Mew. He comes to Rhys-Jones. Handball across. No. I thought he might go to Michael Kennedy. He winds up. Rhys-Jones goes for a long kick. Jenke underneath it. Takes a good mark for Hawthorn at centre half back. Jenke at centre half back. Carlton 7-10, Hawthorn 5-11. Jenke sees Collins. The foot pass is not well directed. In comes Dean, but he gives the handball. Collins over the top to Kennedy. Kennedy of Hawthorn, and Bradley comes in and works the ball over and out, right in front of our broadcast position on the northern side of the MCG. Carlton by 11 points, 10.5 minutes in the third term, in the big one at the G.
Carlton 7-10, Hawthorn 5-11. Madden goes in against Greg Deere. Over the back of the packet comes to Schwab. Free kick going to Greg Deere for ruck infringement. On the crest, just on the defensive side of the grandstand wing. 15 metres. Bradley and Murphy a little bit too near the area. The long hand pass Deere. Off and running is Pritchard. He has one bounce in the centre. Off the left hand. He goes wide for Curran. Silvani to spoil. Curran over his head. Quick recovery by both Alvin and Silvani. Alvin pushing the ball along in front of him as Brereton comes in. Well done, Tommy Alvin. He has got a good bounce. Comes back to Curran. Curran gets it across to Pritchard. Little kick in towards Green. Green runs across the 50-metre line and fires off the side of his boot. Tuck getting underneath it with Aitken. Good spoil, Aitken. Tuck concussed. Can he get it out to someone? He does. He shovels to Kennedy. Kennedy kicks his third goal. 5 points the difference. Tremendous work by the Hawthorn skipper. Tuck, how did he get it out to Kennedy? He was 1 on 3. Hawthorn had 2 moves, man, if he could get it out. And he did. And Kennedy kicks his third, and the Hawks go to 6-11, 47. Carlton 7-10, 52. And after so much good work by Alvin, he got a cruel bounce over there at the crucial moment.
So superior have Carlton been so far in this match that this third quarter, and remembering that Carlton should be a lot fresher, is so important to them. And if they're going to win this match, they'll want to be a little further in front at three-quarter time, because the Hawks are giving a big yelp and squawking at the same time.
Hope you're enjoying Carlton v Hawthorn in the 1987 VFL Grand Final. The rest of the match coming up after the news.
Grandstand Digital, your home of live sport.
This is ABC News with David Rowlands. The Chief Medical Officer, Brendan Murphy, is urging all smartphone-carrying adults to download the government's coronavirus tracing app. 4.25 million people have so far downloaded the COVID-safe application. Professor Murphy says there are low levels of community transmission of the coronavirus in Australia. However, he says if more people download the app, more restrictions are likely to be eased.
We think there are about 16 million adults with smartphones. They're our target population. They're the people we want to get to download the app, because they're the people that are likely to be contacts of cases.
Tensions between the federal government and Victoria are escalating over the state's refusal to reopen schools during the coronavirus pandemic. Andrew Green has more on this story.
Federal Education Minister Dan Tehan has lashed out at the Victorian Premier, accusing Dan Andrews of taking a sledgehammer to schooling because students aren't returning to classrooms.
This is a failure of leadership.
Victoria's Health Minister, Jenny Mikakos, has hit back, saying even the Prime Minister has urged parents to take the advice of state governments.
We are, in fact, the government that runs our schools.
Federal Labor says the Commonwealth should be working cooperatively with the states on coronavirus instead of name-calling.
An 83-year-old Western Australian woman has died from COVID-19 after contracting the virus from a close friend. She had been admitted to hospital in mid-April and had pre-existing medical conditions. She is the 9th person in WA to die from the virus, including 4 people from the Artania cruise ship. It comes as WA recorded its 4th consecutive day with no new COVID-19 cases. Meanwhile, South Australia has just announced no new coronavirus cases for the 11th straight day. The New South Wales opposition is calling on the government to take control of the COVID-19 crisis in a Western Sydney aged care facility. Anglicare has confirmed a 14th death at Newmarch House. 76-year-old Anne Fay died in Nepean Hospital yesterday. Opposition leader Jodie McKay says the government needs to take responsibility and treat the outbreak as a public health issue.
This is now a public health crisis. 14 deaths. We know at least 7 or 8 have been infected in the last 3 days, which means that there is a second wave within Newmarch House.
New South Wales Health says residents can stay in the home or go to Nepean Hospital. Property inspections and on-site auctions in New South Wales will resume from next weekend. It follows a 6-week shutdown due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Restrictions in New South Wales were eased on Friday. The state government says social distancing and stringent cleaning guidelines must be maintained. The British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has given an interview where he's described just how ill he was from COVID-19 and explained that contingency plans were being drawn up in case he died. The BBC's Chris Mason reports.
In this candid interview, Boris Johnson described the moment the indicators kept going in the wrong direction. His condition was worsening. I was fully conscious and all too aware of what was going on, he told the newspaper. The bad moments came when it was 50-50 whether they were going to have to put a tube down my windpipe. This would have involved him being placed in an induced coma. They were starting to think about how to handle it presentationally. It was a tough old moment. I won't deny it. And he described the care he received as awe-inspiring.
More and more US states are easing restrictions on businesses and movement, even as the country's death toll rises to more than 66,000 people. There are more than 1.1 million COVID-19 infections in the US. However, the President Donald Trump has been one of the strongest supporters of reopening the economy. He's flown to the presidential retreat Camp David for the weekend, while these people in Texas say that reopening was the right thing to do.
It is so awesome to be out of the house and be in Galveston. The beach is beautiful.
We've just been desperate to get out of our houses, and the beaches are one of our biggest things.
It's really going to bring a somewhat sense of normalcy back.
In rugby league, the New Zealand Warriors have departed Auckland for the New South Wales town of Tamworth without two of their players. Hooker Nathaniel Roach reported that he had a sore throat and was told to stay at home. Winger David Fusatua didn't travel for personal reasons. The Warriors have been granted an exemption by Border Force and are due to arrive in Tamworth this afternoon before going into isolation for a fortnight. And briefly in other news, South Korean military officials are reporting that shots were fired at a border post along the border with North Korea. And you're up to date with the latest on ABC News. We'll have more in 1 hour.
Grandstand Digital.
There's the siren!
Your home of AFL.
Grandstand Digital. ABC Grandstand. AFL replays.
You're listening to the 1987 VFL Grand Final. It's Hawthorn taking on Carlton. Let's return now to the action at the MCG.
Carlton by 5 points, a very high bounce. Up goes Justin Madden, gives it to, is it Nailey with short sleeve now? Yep. It is Kernahan lending a bit of weight there, and there'll be a ball up just on the attacking side of the centre with Carlton into attack. Umpire Ian Robinson. Carlton 7-10, Hawthorn 6-11. Dynamic struggle in a classic grand final. Madden, he got a call from somebody. That somebody was Alvin, but he palmed it beautifully. Gives Bradley the run at the ball. Pritchard there. Bradley inside 50. 40 metres out. He steadies and has kicked it. Craig Bradley has put it through on the run. That's his second goal. Tremendous ruck work by Justin Madden. Started it. I think he started the couple before, which resulted in goals. Carlton 8-10, 58 by 11 points now. Hawthorn 6-11, 47.
Just a little bit of explosive pace then. Who was it chasing him? Was
Pritchard.
it Janky or Pritchard? Yes, ask Pritchard how quick he is. Because he certainly drew away then quite nicely and guided it through a valuable and important one for the Blues, that one.
13 minutes third term. The Blues by 11 points, 58-47. Madden, a big fist to it. The ball stands up on its end. Kernahan for the tap towards Johnston. Looking for a free. Falls over the ball. Gets it back towards Kernahan, who's trying to barge his way through. Ball, they cry. Spills out towards Shane Robertson. His handball is intercepted by Ayres. Ayres clears wide towards the wing on the southern stand side. Tucker's out there with Aitken. And the ball has beaten them across the line and out of bounds. Southern stand wing. Carlton 8-10, 58. Hawthorn 6-11, 47, 30 minutes and 40 seconds gone in the third term. The ball to be put back into play. Madden against Greg Deere at the boundary throw-in. Madden, neither very positive. Chance for Nailey, now starting to work clear. He has a bounce. He's running away from Buckenara. Off the right boot, Nailey high in towards half forward. The ball, it bounces inside the line and then spins over. And so it's going to be thrown in at right half forward for the Blues. Just outside 50. Carlton 8-10, 58. Hawthorn 6-11, 47. The Blues by 11 points. Ball back into play. Dorotich and Abbott who gets the tap down. Pritchard working hard but can't break clear. He's bottled up by Bradley. And the ball to be bounced just outside 50 in this third term. Hawthorn kicking to the main scoreboard goal. Carlton to the punt road end. Ball is bounced. Dorotich against Abbott. Spills free to Collins of Hawthorn. He clears back towards the wing. Madden is there. Can't hold the mark. Yes, he can. Not paid. Yes, he has been. On the crest. On the wing. He plays on quickly off the left boot, the big fellow. Madden in towards centre half forward. Ball tapped away from Kernahan by Langford. Spills free. Knock forward for Carlton. First there. Oh, Meldon. Jackie gets a cruel bounce. Meldon kicks a goal. Cruel bounce for Jackie in the square. And Meldrum kicks his first goal, and the Blues have kicked away the lead by 17 points. That's their biggest margin since in the first term when they led by 21. Carlton 9-10, 64. Hawthorn 6-11, 47. The Blues by 17 points.
Yes, poor Jenky. He was doing everything that the good backman should. He was in front, looked like being first to the ball, but it cruelly bounced, came back over the shoulder, and of course That gave the opportunity to Meldrum, who just only had to gather and go on with the business, which he duly did.
Midway through this third quarter, 15 and a half minutes up on the clock. Carlton 64, Hawthorn 47. The centre bounce, Murphy, but the ball goes to Domenico. He's tackled, I was about to say perfectly, and I will stick with that comment. I thought he was tackled beautifully, but the replay going up, and I still say he was tackled expertly. He's got the free kick, it doesn't matter. Now, Domenico from half-back. All Brereton's made space across the half-forward line, but he can't mark it. Reece Jones is going to clear the ball away with consummate ease. Foot pass, beautiful, taken by Robertson. Robertson to Dorotich. Dorotich stretches, but the mark not paid, and rightly so. The ball reefed out. It comes out towards Ayres. Gets the handball across to Tuck. Will get sunburnt today with those bare arms. Looking for Kennedy on the point of the square. They've got the numbers here. Hawthorn. Dipper gets possession. Oh, he's got a double back. He runs out of partners. No. Gets the handball onto Green. Green's left foot kick. It's fading towards the pocket. Brereton there with Silvani. Brereton goes to ground. Silvani tackling hard to punch the ball away. And it's gone through from behind. It was kicked by
Russell Green.
Graham. Carlton 9-10, Hawthorn 6-12. It's 64-48, 16 and 3/4 minutes in the third quarter.
The Blues by 16 points. Reece Jones looking, searching. Not quite sure which way to go.
Not much, he's not.
Now he goes for Big Madden, who gets a bit of a shove from Greg Deere. The ball tapped away, comes to Collins, who gets out of a high one. Handballs back to Buckenara for one of his rare possessions. Buckenara, a high kick. Curran and Brereton both go for it when one of them should have perhaps stayed down. Ball spills. The Carlton player slipped over, but Platten can't take advantage of it. It's out of bounds some 10 metres from the behind post. Left forward pocket for Hawthorn. Going to beneath the big scoreboard. They trail by 16 points. The Blues have got a pretty good grip on the game as Madden comes over the top of Kennedy. They're wrestling for it. The hand pass comes away from Madden. Green puts himself in. Goes for a foot pass, or it goes back over the head of Collins. Cruel bounce for Buckenara, but Hawthorn working hard, have the numbers at the ball. None more than the skipper Tuck. Off the long, raking right foot kick. It might be a goal, but Reece Jones hammers it into the goal post. Tremendous defensive work by the Blues. The kick from Tuck not quite going to clear the pack, but Reece Jones got a fist to it and knocked it into the goal post. Hawthorn 6-13-49, 15 points behind as Carlton 9-10-64. Johnston kicks the ball to himself. Goes wide towards the wing, southern stand side, too far for Aitken. Knocked by Ayres to Tuck. Tuck back to Ayres. Ayres goes short to Green. Inco over the back comes Michael Kennedy. No free kick for that one. He shovels the ball forward. But Platten can't take advantage of it. It's out of bounds some 10 metres from the behind post. Left forward pocket for Hawthorn. Going to beneath the big scoreboard. They trail by 16 points. The Blues have got a pretty good grip on the game as Madden comes over the top of Kennedy. They're wrestling for it. The hand pass comes away from Madden. Green puts himself in. Goes for a foot pass, or it goes back over the head of Collins. Cruel bounce for Buckenara, but Hawthorn working hard, have the numbers at the ball. None more than the skipper Tuck. Off the long, raking right foot kick. It might be a goal, but Reece Jones hammers it into the goal post. Tremendous defensive work by the Blues. The kick from Tuck not quite going to clear the pack, but Reece Jones got a fist to it and knocked it into the goal post. Hawthorn 6-13-49, 15 points behind as Carlton 9-10-64. Johnston kicks the ball to himself. Goes wide towards the wing, southern stand side, too far for Aitken. Knocked by Ayres to Tuck. Tuck back to Ayres. Ayres goes short to Green. Inco over the back comes Michael Kennedy. No free kick for that one. He shovels the ball forward. Out towards Fraser Murphy. He's caught with the ball. Platten gets the hand pass away to Schwab. Schwab from inside the centre square. Goes towards Curran. Silvani is there. Working hard, Silvani. Superb long arms. Controls the ball beautifully. Goes for the boundary line, but he's put it out of bounds on the full. Domenico to take the free kick in front of the members stand at half forward for the Hawks. Hawthorn 6-13-49. Carlton 9-10-64. He goes short to Schwab, and Schwab gets the mark. Despite the defensive work, he goes back into the pocket towards Kennedy, and Kennedy takes the mark 40 metres from goal. Oh, he goes back to Deere. Gained no distance, decreased the angle, and I would have thought John Kennedy may have been better placed to take that kick than Greg Deere. 18 minutes and 50 seconds gone. Third term of the 87 grand final. Carlton 64 lead Hawthorn 49.
He can kick a football, this bloke, don't worry.
And he has. He's kicked at Douglas Bigelow right through the centre. You are quite right. From on the 50-metre line, a beautiful kick by Greg Deere. Hawthorn 7-13-55. Carlton 9-10-64. The Blues by 9 points. 19 minutes and 15 seconds gone in the third term.
And John Kennedy would have had a good look at who he was kicking the football to, because we've seen Deere do this before, and that made it easily. It was never in doubt from the moment it left the point of the toe.
Murphy off, Gleeson back on for the Blues.
Hawthorn sticking like glue. The Blues just can't break clear. They did by 17 points, and now they lead by 64 points to 55. The centre bounce, up goes Madden, supreme in the ruck. Kick in mid-air by Russell Green, but underneath it is it Glascott, who's marked at half-back for Carlton. Off, he thought about the hand pass to Alvin. Now from a standing start, he goes for a long kick. Oh, nearly a mark to Kernahan. Kick off the ground by Ayres. It comes up towards Greg Deere. Melbourne tries to tackle. Deere's hand pass, a beauty onto Tuck. Tuck's foot pass looking for Kennedy. Takes a good mark on the wing, on the crest. John Kennedy of Hawthorn. Oh, his kick fading. It's a shocking kick straight on to the chest of Michael Kennedy. One Kennedy to another. Kennedy at halfback in front of the MCC stand. The kick by Kennedy looking for Madden. I think he flicked the ball away. I'm sure he didn't see it in the end. The sun got in his eyes. Goes to Nailey. Well grabbed. Hand pass intercepted. Picked up by Johnston. A torpedo kick towards 50 metres. Let's see. Up went Dennis, saying down as Hunter. Taps the ball out to Dennis. Dennis now inside 50. Can kick a goal for Carlton. It's on its way, but it's swung. No, it's offline. And it's through for a behind. Kick by Richard Dennis. He's third behind. Scoreboard, Carlton 9-11. Hawthorn 7-13. Carlton by 10 points.
Abbott to kick in for Hawthorn. He goes straight down the ground looking for Langford. Kernahan is there. Dipper Domenico. The ball spills. The big dipper. Johnson gets it away. Picked up by Shane Robertson. He's unloaded. Pritchard gets it back to Schwab. Schwab's hand pass intercepted by Shane Robertson. Oh, a scrubby old kick along the ground to Bradley. Bradley sells a dummy. Fires at goal and he's put it through for his second for the quarter. Luck's a fortune there for Robertson as he was tackled. He got a scrubby old kick along the ground, but it went to Bradley. And he made no mistake, that's his third goal. And as I said, he's second for the term. 21 and a half third term. And the Blues 10-11-71. Lead Hawthorn 7-13-55 by 16 points.
Yes, it may have been luck of fortune, but still the good players can get them when you want them. And Bradley's been able to glide away on a couple of occasions. And no better glide in that situation was Bradley in kicking that goal. Just snuck away from the opponent and gave himself the easiest of opportunity.
Third term in progress, just under 22 minutes on the clock. The centre bounce by umpire Robinson. Madden, he lost sight of that one. Coming through is Dipper Domenico, but the ball rebounds cruelly for him after he made the play to Nailey. Nailey goes to half forward, but Langford for Hawthorn marks at centre half back. Straight up the centre. Who's there? Brereton. And also Rhys Jones. Brereton stretched, but couldn't mark it. It wasn't markable in the finish. Rhys Jones handball out to Glascott. And something happened behind play. Was it Brereton who may have just dealt with Rhys Jones? I didn't see it. But it's certainly against Brereton because the free kick up the ground is going to be taken by Craig Bradley of Carlton. On the wing on the southern side. Kernahan and Langford. Kernahan's got his eyes on it, but Langford came across the front of him and it came off fingers over and out for a boundary throw in. Carlton 10-11-71, so they've skipped 16 points clear of Hawthorn. I think their biggest margin so far has been 17 points. Hawthorn 7-13-55.
Boundary thrown, I think 21 in the first quarter. The ball tapped down. The hand pass comes from Russo, a long one out to Pritchard. Pritchard gives it onto the running Schwab. Schwab near the boundary line, southern stand side, steps around Johnson, kicks to half forward. Brereton this time is behind Rhys Jones, who almost held the mark. He slips over, but he's playing a magicianal game. Gets the ball back, it comes out to Gleeson. Gleeson, good handball onto Robertson, running beautifully the Blues. Robertson from the centre, off the wobbly left foot, it fades a little bit. Bounce eludes Hunter, chance for Meldrum, cruel bounce for him. Mew comes in. Tuck leaves it for him. Mew clears from half-back out towards the wing. They're all pretty tired. Chance here for Green. Michael Kennedy. Oh, his handball. Bit slick for Aitken. Aitken fumbles. Out of bounds. He pushes it right in front of our commentary position. Grandstand wing. 23 and a half minutes gone, third term. The Blues 10-11-71 lead the Hawks. 7-13-55 as Madden comes off and Mackenzie goes on. Dorotich rucking. Palms the ball. Aitken knocks it back. Chance for Abbott of Hawthorn. He fires it in towards half forward. Bouncing ball. Alvin and Buckenara eludes them. Up towards Sardine. His handball of beauty towards Robertson. Out to Alvin. Superb football Blues. Alvin gives it on to Johnston. Johnston goes in towards the centre. Has a bounce with confidence. Fires Carlton deep into attack. Kernahan the target. Ball spills free. Should have got a free perhaps. Ayres gets a push in the back and he will get the free after Kernahan was rather harshly dealt with up there, but that's the way they've been playing them. No Tiggy Touchwood's near goal. 24 minutes and 15 third term. Ayres should have been the recipient of that free kick, but it's going to Tuck.
He's almost a fullback with a free kick, Tuck. Kicks outside the 50-metre line. He's defending. Dorotich goes for the punch. In front of the pack is Abbott. Looking for a hand pass. Not one there, so he kicks scrubbily around towards the crest. Coming through is Aitken. There is Pritchard. Scoops the ball along the ground, but goes to Alvin. Good harassment there by Dippy Domenico. Alvin gets the ball out towards Bradley. Gives the handball away. It comes out towards Glascott, who looks for the safety of the boundary line and does it beautifully. And it's out of bounds.
Dorotich is hurt. Dorotich is hurt, and no, he's not coming off. He looked like he might have been, and Madden back on, but Dorotich still contesting at the boundary throw-in.
Boundary throw-in. Dorotich there, wrestling with Paul Deere. They all miss it. It goes to Johnson, almost a one-handed flick. It goes to Alvin. Alvin gives the hand pass away to Aitken, who's... well, he started a bit shakily in the second semi, but he got better as the game went on and became one of Carlton's better players. And he's been there from go to woe today. Into time on in the third term by a matter of seconds. Carlton 71, Hawthorn 55. Boundary throw in on the wing on the northern side. Madden in ruck with Paul Deere. Madden wins, but the ball went behind. It goes to Green. Green scrubby kick towards half forward. Out comes Glascott. Got the handball away. How did he do it? I don't know. To Robertson. Robertson standing side looking for Nailey, and it falls right in his lap. Well, he must have lost it in the sun. There's more hope than anything else, and it just he found it in his bread basket. The kick by Nailey to centre half forward. Up goes Abbott. He's marked and may get 15 at centre half back for Hawthorn.
Paul Deere doing the ruck work. Greg Deere still on the bench as Abbott has it at centre half back for Hawthorn. He goes towards the southern stand side, and Paul Deere takes the mark, plays on, off the left boot. Too far for Dippy Domenico. Rhys Jones out in front of Brereton, and it's out of bounds at left half forward for Hawthorn. 26 minutes and 15 seconds gone in the third term. The Blues, who led by 11 points at half-time, lead by 16. 10-11-71 to Hawthorn. 7 goals, 13-55. Paul Deere still rucking there for Hawthorn against Justin Madden, giving away many centimetres. Madden comes over the top to knock the ball back out of bounds from whence it came. Almost three-quarter time in the 87 grand final. Carlton have added 4 goals to Hawthorn's 3 in this third term to stretch the half-time lead of 11 points to 16 at this stage. There's the throw-in. Madden against Paul Deere. Madden, the back flip comes close to the boundary line. Dippy Domenico, quick kick forward. Silvani in front. Superb mark in front of Curran as he went to ground. The mantis, the long arms and legs of Stephen Silvani. Left out of the Carlton side last year, but not this season, and for the grand final is playing a blinder. Alvin marks the short pass by Silvani. Tried to con the umpire as he dropped the ball, suggesting that Green may have knocked it out of his hands for the 15 metres. Possession football. Alvin out to Rhys Jones. Sideways. Rhys Jones marks 45 metres from the goal he's defending. At the main scoreboard end, the Blues slowing it down in the dying seconds of this third quarter, holding on to the lead. The ball up towards the wing, picked up by Ayres. He gets the hand pass away. Tuck, what courage the skipper has shown for the Hawks today as he kicks to half forward. In front, Glascott couldn't quite control it. Kick off the ground by Brereton. The bouncing ball for Michael Kennedy. As Green comes in, he slips over. Michael Kennedy does well. Back in towards the centre. The bouncing ball is a pretty fickle one. Chance for Bradley. Breaking away from Pritchard, he goes to ground. Play on, he's still got the footy, Humpy. And it's going to be bounced. The player stopped Bradley looking for a free. Umpire Robinson was waving play on, and he's going to bounce the ball outside the 50-metre line between the square line and the 50-metre line. The Blues in attack. 28 minutes, third term. Carlton 71, lead Hawthorn 55.
Almost three-quarter time. Tapped down by Madden. It goes to Nailey. Runs the wrong way. He's got to backtrack. Oh, will it fall? They're coming out as Kernahan. Flick the ball away. It goes to Abbott. Abbott gets the handball to Langford. Langford, though, outside 50. Just squeezes his kick through around the outer side. Up goes Brereton. The ball punched away by Rhys Jones. Brereton there first. Comes to it. Not much support. In fact, he hand passes straight to Robertson of Carlton. So Dermy's having a fairly ordinary day in Buckanara, who should have a point to prove after playing in the Twos grand final last year. Certainly Silvani is proving his point. Carlton going forward. Kernahan can't mark. A chance for Ayres. Ayres now will clear the ball away from the 50-metre line. It's all Carlton. No, it's not. Paul Deere, a half volley job. Carlton players everywhere, and to be smart, they'll work it over towards the boundary line. Alvin is there. Will they break clear? No, they won't. The ball eventually is over and out. On the southern side wing, Almost three-quarter time, 29 minutes up on the clock. Carlton by 16 points in the grand final. Boundary throw in. Justin Madden with Paul Deere. Height and a bit of strength there, but Madden wins again. Gets the tap away. Burton, though, accepts it. Gives the handball to Green. Green now from the point of the square at centre half back. Up towards Kennedy. Kennedy now. Aitken after him. Kennedy's got the front position. He's running out of territory. And Aitken makes sure he does by punching the ball defensively away. And it's three-quarter time. Carlton by 16 points at three-quarter time in the grand final. The scores: Carlton 10-11-71. Hawthorn 7-13-55. The goal kickers for Carlton: 3 goals to Bradley, 2 in that quarter, 2 each to Kernahan and Johnston, and singles to Dorotich, Hunter and Meldrum. And for Hawthorn, Kennedy's kicked 3, and singles to Platten, Curran, Greg Deere and Dipierre Domenico. Carlton 10-11-71, Hawthorn 7-13-55. As up on the scoreboard, we see the three-quarter time scores in this match last year, which saw Hawthorn leading by 50 points at three-quarter time. It's a different story 12 months on, with Carlton leading by 16 points at the three-quarter time break. 10-11-71, that's Carlton. Hawthorn 7-13-55. Doug Bigelow, then quickly members of the ABC footy panel.
Yes, well, 11 points the advantage to Carlton half-time, 16 points at three-quarter time, and just a clear sign in my eyes that Carlton just appear to have the answers. They're just a little quicker to the ball, and I think perhaps they can thank their backline, because the persistence in that quarter by Hawthorn was absolutely amazing, but that persistence wasn't rewarded with results down on the scoreboard, and I think Carlton can thank their backline. There's no doubt about that, although I thought one of their good players in that term was Madden, probably the best quarter he's had so far in this match, because he started so much for them during that term, and Carlton were able to at times cash in. But talking of backlines, so did Hawthorn do a wonderful job back there. Langford has been absolutely supreme.
Chance there for Dipierre Domenico. He knocks the ball on, but Pritchard gets a cruel bounce. Johnston sweating on it. Gets a free kick for being grabbed. Dipper was bursting away, but Johnston was tackled without the ball, and he gets the free kick in the centre of the ground. And Hawthorn fortunate there wasn't 15 metres there, because the ball thrown a little wide.
Entirely, wasn't it?
Johnston goes for the short pass. They're everywhere. Shane Robertson was one of 2 options. The other was Kennedy. The foot pass, Shane Robertson, good to Bradley. Good spoil. Ball spills for Mew. Mew kicks it wide. Out towards the southern stand wing. Shane Robertson leading in the race for the ball. Can he keep it in? He does. He goes for a foot pass to Michael Kennedy, who takes the mark. Practice pitch area. In towards full forward. Leapers wanted. Kernahan from the back. Tapped away. Oh, fastening onto it. Chance for Carlton Gleeson. He fires at goal. He's put it through. And that's a handy one. First goal, final term of the 87 grand final, 4.5 minutes in, kicked by Gleeson. And the Blues go to a 23-point lead, 11-12-78 to Hawthorn, 7 goals, 13-55.
Well, it all started, I think. Did you have a look at Russo hobbling after that opponent of his on the boundary?
Yep.
He was hoping the ball would go out of bounds. He could hardly walk. And of course it didn't, and that allowed eventually the opportunity for Carlton to score that goal. Russo, hopeless.
Carlton lead by 23 points, 5 minutes into the grand final last quarter. The centre bounce. It favours Madden, although Deere came in strongly. That was Paul. The ball goes to Dean. Handball across to Reece Jones. Sidesteps elegantly away from Tuck and a couple of other players in transit. Kicked by Reece Jones to half forward. Punched away by Jenke. Nailey at the fall of the ball. Breaks clear. Inside 50 to seal it for Carlton. 25 metres out. Nailey has kicked it. Carlton scored the first 2 goals of the final term. And they really break clear now by 29 points. Carlton 12-12-84. Hawthorn 7-13-55. The goal kicked by Mark Nailey, his first.
They look pretty fresh, the Blues, and that's what a weak spell's all about.
Greg Deere warming up to come back on. Should he have started the final term on the bench? Well, there you go. They've souvenired the footy. The Blues 12-12-84. This is their biggest margin in the contest. 29 points over the Hawks, who are 7-13-55 at the 6-minute mark of the last quarter.
I hear a little bit of murmur around the commentary box. It's all over now. I think I might agree with that. Miraculous if Hawthorn can get out of this one.
Paul Deere about to contest the centre bounce against Justin Madden, considerably taller, the big fellow, who gets the tap.
Chance for Carlton bursting through. Kernahan gets the rebounding ball. Long kick to full forward. It might be another one. It is. Just crosses the line and Kernahan kicks it from outside 50. That's his third. And at 35 points, the Blues have kicked 3 in 3 minutes as Paul Deere is going to come off and Greg Deere back on. But she's all over now. The Blues go to 13-12-90 with a full head of steam up to the Hawks 7-13-55.
Talking about a full head of steam, I think that locomotive coming out of the centre wearing number 7 on his back for Carlton might have had a little bit of a hand in that. He's not a bad player, and he's definitely shown that throughout this encounter.
Final turn. 7 minutes gone. Carlton lead by 35 points after having led by 16 points just, let's see, a few minutes ago. Oh, Nailey gets it on to Johnston. He gives it across to Robertson, but the mark is taken by Mew in the back pocket for Hawthorn. Chris Mew with Brereton looking for the handball over the top. Swab will be a bit short. Yes, he does go short to Swab. He runs up towards the 50-metre line. He's defending Peter Swab. In towards the centre. Or Reece Jones about fourth in line claimed it, or somebody else might have claimed it, but Reece Jones certainly didn't have either first or second purchase on it. And there'll be a ball up in the centre once again. Carlton 13-12-90. Hawthorn 7-13-55. A big day here in Melbourne. The grand final. And Carlton just beginning, or they have in the last couple of minutes, to shake off Hawthorn. But Hawthorn, a team full of character. It goes to Michael Kennedy. Handball across to Nailey. No, it's not Nailey. He goes long in towards the forward pocket, and Mew dropped one he should have taken, and he's claiming that the ball came off a Carlton player. His foot, it could have been McKenzie, it was, and Mew will take the free kick. So Chris Mew in the back pocket. Scoots the ball around the outer side, looking for Deere. That's Greg Deere. Tries to fist it, but misses. Picked up by Bradley. Bradley's kicked a half forward, a wobbly one. Kicked away by Eyre. Soon will be marked by Justin Madden on the attacking side of the centre. Handball away to Bradley. Bradley's hand pass comes out to Johnson on the practice pitch area. Goes square towards half forward. The ball fisted away. It's going towards the boundary line. Just 15 metres away from goal. That's Carlton's goal. The knock on by Carlton, but saving the ball there is Brereton getting a couple of Bronx cheers. Handball across to John Kennedy of Hawthorn. He runs up towards the 50-metre line. He's defending in front of the members. Not too adoring today, with Melbourne being eliminated last week. The kick by Kennedy across the half-back line finds Green. Handball onto Russo.
Oh. Can't raise a goal.
Russo now, no. Jack Cameron picked him pretty early, Smoke. The ball comes up towards Curran, but it's the kick drops short, hits him on the nose. It goes to Swab. Dippy to Medico. Grant gets the handball away. Cool and calm and placid. Reece Jones gives it away to Bradley, who goes for a run.
Bradley out to the southern stand side. He goes wide to the dominated Johnston, who takes the mark just in from the boundary line. Fraser Murphy warming up to come on. The hand pass comes back from Johnston on to Glasgow. He puts it under his arm, runs his full measure, fires it in towards full forward. McKenzie has been paid the tumbling mark, low to the ground, and he's taken it about 35 metres out from goal as Meldrum is about to come off for Carlton to be replaced by Murphy. 10 minutes gone, final term, and the Blues lead by 35 points. They've got the 87 flag parcelled up. Meldrum off, Murphy on, and here's McKenzie for the Blues. Comes in fairly close to the man on the mark, Abbott. The kick across the goal, it's fading. Madden is up there, fisted away. Oh, out in front of the pack, a chance for the Blues. Fast onto it, it's Dennis. A hurried kick back in towards full forward. Kicked off the ground by Greg Deere. Chance for McKenzie, but Abbott is out. Pointed no. McKenzie's mark again.
Yep. Yes.
McKenzie 30 metres from goal, directly in front. That ball kicked off the ground away by the Hawthorn defence. Another Hawthorn player down receiving treatment. Hawthorn physio Barry Gavin certainly working overtime. Player near the scene of the ball. And McKenzie with a far easier shot this time. Directly in front, much closer than the previous kick he had a moment ago. 10 minutes and 45. Final term of the 87 grand final. McKenzie for Carlton.
Yep.
Puts it through the centre, and the Blues go 41 points in front. 14-12-96 to 7-13-55. That's McKenzie's first goal. He started on the bench and has been on and off several times during the afternoon.
That's a disappointing finish to this match, but I think one could sense it coming just before three-quarter time. There's many of those Hawthorn players who gave their all, just haven't been sighted since, and they were a few, the minority, who were doing so much for Hawthorn. A lot of Hawthorn players just haven't been able to get into the act at all. Many of them looking tired and quite sore.
Carlton by 41 points. Madden gets yet another tap. It goes to Nailey, who's had a big game since half-time. Kick up towards Kernahan. Can't mark. The ball spills to Mew, but he almost kicks the wrong way. Right across the half-back line, and Carlton hoping the ball stay in. It does. Well, luck's a fortune. Fraser Murphy fastens onto the ball. Great tackle down there by, I think it might have been Collins, who in fact does emerge with the ball, and there's going to be a free kick to Carlton. It's not to Fraser Murphy. It's going to another Carlton player. Looks like McKenzie.
Tackled high by Abbott.
Outside 50. He'll kick from about 50 metres out. Warren McKenzie's kick one. The drop punt on its way, and it's straightening up a bit, but I think it's just offline as is it Green coming off the ground for Hawthorn. Behind, Carlton 14-13, Hawthorn 7-13. It's an even 7 goals to the Blues now, 42 points, and John Elliott, the Carlton president, I think he gets married next Thursday. Well, the honeymoon will be even sweeter now.
Ball back in the centre. Tuck barging his way through for the Hawks. Bradley's down. Kennedy gets it out to Platten. Platten in the middle. Gets well tackled but gets it back to Tuck. Tuck off the left boot. Kicks to half forward. Brereton back in attack for the Hawks. Rhys Jones the good spoil. Down to Curran. Handball onto Buckenara. Buckenara from 45 metres. He's kicked it right off the side of his boot. It bounces out of bounds near the behind post. And he had a better option in Brereton. I felt that that typified Buckenara's game today. He's been a very quiet player for the Hawks, been completely shut out of business by Tommy Alvin. Just 4 kicks and 2 handballs for Gary Buckenara. 13 minutes final term. It's all Carlton. They lead by 42 points, 14-13 to 7-13. 6-7 goal lead, and Madden will get the free kick for a ruck infringement of that boundary throw-in. Goes out towards the half-back line. Gleeson the target out there and takes the mark. Was about to run on. Pritchard dragged back a metre or two. Half-back, southern stand side. Gleeson up towards the wing. Big Greg Deere is there to fish the ball away. He does. Knocked on cleverly for Carlton. I think it was by Michael Kennedy for Bradley, but too far. And it's out of bounds. Southern stand wing. 13.5 final term. Carlton 14-13, 97. Hawthorn 7-13, 55.
Boundary throw-in coming up on the southern side wing. Still about 28 degrees in Melbourne. Knocked down by Madden. Must go close to getting to Norm Smith middle. Picked up by Pritchard. His kick from the wing, looking for Buckenara, but he's been missing today. The ball spills down towards Platten. Platten now kicks inside 50. Curran comes out. Rhys Jones punches the ball away with strong, fair play. The ball spills out towards Silvani. Platten overrun it. And the ball has been knocked over the boundary line. It's inside 50 with Hawthorn into attack, but it's about 45 metres out from goal. Right half forward flank at the punt road end. A boundary throw in. Up goes Madden, although I think they're virtually standing there. The ball comes to Tuck. Now Tuck can kick a goal. 30 metres out. Can he thread it through? No, he's just a little still in play. Brereton might kick a goal. His body was out, but I think that the ball was out as well because the boundary umpire was right there and adjudicated very quickly. Carlton by 7 goals in the grand final. 14-13. Hawthorn 7-13. And the boundary throw-in with Hawthorn deep into attack at the punt road end, just a few metres out from goal. Madden up or via a few hands of Carlton players. And Aiken, I think, helped it in the end over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Russo limping off for Hawthorn as Green is about to go back on. And he's limping as well.
Boundary throw-in just metres away from Hawthorn's goal. It spills behind. Buckenara has a snapshot and it's through from behind. So it's 6 goals, 5. The lead 41 points to Carlton. Carlton 14-13, Hawthorn 7-14.
Well, that's Hawthorn's first score in 15 minutes of this last term. There's some idea of just how they are being brutally mauled.
Rhys Jones, a perfect foot pass, marked by Bradley at half-back on the 50-metre line. He's put the ball under his arm and he's gone back. He's smoking the pipe. He's got the slippers out. And another glass of port. He says, I'll take plenty of time. And why shouldn't he? Because the Blues lead by 41 points. Craig Bradley to the wing. Members side, fisted forward by Langford. Taken by Fraser Murphy. Close to the boundary line, in towards, the wing. It's marked by Collins. He runs on. The long hand pass across to Schwab. Schwab draws Aitken, gets it across to Kennedy. Kennedy on to Paul Deere. Schwab is still running, but Paul Deere will kick off the left boot. Oh, Brereton's behind. The foot pass was perfect, but it was to the wrong man. Rhys Jones makes a mistake and Brereton kick it off the ground. No, Rhys too quick. Comes back and rushes it through from behind. Great work, Rhys Jones. And I'll tell you what, Smooth, he might get a few sympathy votes for the Norm Smith medal and a few that he deserves as well. If you don't mind, Mr. Umpire.
a delightful game from Rhys Jones. That's about the only way to describe it. Remembering who the opponent for the afternoon has been. Brereton. Short kick.
Short kick goes to Nailey. Now Nailey on the half-back there. Glascott, thanks Biggs, you're right. Out towards the 50-metre line. And out there is Gleeson, who's marked for Carlton. Gleeson goes a bit short. And they're playing short now to Glascott. Back to Gleeson, so the old firm in action there. They've controlled the ball for the last 45 seconds or so. Hunter underneath it, punched away by Mew. And the ball is over and out. Just down from wing with Carlton just marginally into attack. It's on the southern side wing with Carlton kicking to the main scoreboard or Melbourne City end. The boundary throw in. Up goes Madden. Oh, his fists will be red raw tonight from all the thumps he's had and all the palms he's made. Picked up by Greg Deere. Comes off the boot of off the knee of Glascott, and he tumbles over the ball, but the ball keeps going, and it's over and out once again. Carlton 14-13, Hawthorn 7-15. Carlton by 40 points in the grand final. Boundary throw in. The ruckman miss it. Bradley taps it sideways to Glascott. Platten after him. Glascott loses his footing. Tuck politely picks it up. He's on the wing, scoots the ball in towards the 50-metre line. Brereton and Rhys Jones. Rhys Jones taking no chances at all. Punches the ball away. Brereton there outnumbered 2-1. Alvin hovering over the pack and being a spectator as he has been all day. I hope Gary Buckenara bought a ticket for the grand final because he really has been a spectator and not a great contributor for the Hawthorn team. 17 and 3/4 minutes in the big one. Carlton 14-13, Hawthorn 7-15.
Boundary thrown at right half forward for the Blues. Madden gets the tap down. Rebounds to Paul Deere. Right foot kick by Paul Deere in towards full forward. Curran is there jostling for it. Good work by Shane Robertson, who comes in and thumps it through for a behind a Hawthorn. 7-14, 7-16, 58 to 14-13, 97. 39 points the lead, 18 minutes gone in the final term.
The kick in finds Gleeson on the half-back line. Gleeson up towards the wing on the member side. And a terrific mark taken by Dennis. He gets legged too a little bit as he tried to get up by Ayres. Running past is Gleeson, and he gives the handball away. Must have travelled a good 12 or 15 metres. A foot pass by Gleeson. It looked good off the boot, but when I looked down to see where it was going, it was between Kernahan, Johnston and also Hunter. So directionally it wasn't good, and it's out of bounds inside 50. Right half forward flank, 45 metres out from Carlton's goal. They lead by 39 points in the grand final. Storming his way through as Johnson gets the hard kick. It travels on the bounce to Langford. Langford clears the ball away to the centre. Let's see who's there. It's Kennedy of Carlton. The ball punched away by Paul Deere. Out to Kennedy of Hawthorn. Back towards Paul Deere. He can't pick it up, being worried out of it by Aitken. The ball knocked across towards Platten. Here's a chance now for John Kennedy. One bounce. Oh, he nearly lost it. He has. Retrieves it. Handball to Buckenara. Buckenara sidesteps. Handball back to Kennedy for his fourth. Kicks into Silvani. Great defensive work by Carlton and the old firm of Rhys Jones and Silvani, solicitors or accountants, you name it. They've really put paid to Hawthorn today. They've done a terrific job. 19 and a half minutes in the quarter. Carlton 97, Hawthorn 58.
Fantastic play by Stephen Silvani. Madden goes up, taps the ball back out of bounds on the 50-metre line. The Blues doing it well. The official attendance today are pretty disappointing. 92,754. 92,754. And Madden thumps it back in. The members obviously not as packed as it would have been had Melbourne been playing, and nor is the standing room. And I think the hot day has kept a lot of people away with the live television in Melbourne. The Blues lead. Score off the board up there, 97-58. Gleeson overruns it. Picked up by Schwab, who's played his heart out for the Hawks. Gets it on to Di Domenico. He gets it back to Paul Deere, who goes with a short foot pass. It travelled about 8.5 metres, and it's marked by Schwab just inside 50. Hawthorn were goalless in the second term when they kicked to the punt road end, and at the moment they're goalless in this final term as the mark was taken by Pritchard a little closer to goal. 92,754 the official attendance, and the Blues leading by 39 points. Pritchard with a shot on goal for Hawthorn. Darren Pritchard coming into the Hawthorn 20 instead of Jason Dunstall. Pritchard kicks from just inside the 50-metre line, and it looks okay. A goal kicked by Hawthorn. The Hawks first at the punt road into the match. They move on to 16-64. 33 points behind. Carlton 14-13, 97. The Blues at the 21-minute mark of the final term lead by 33 points.
Pritchard really didn't make a lot of effort to hurry himself up there, because I think he, along with a few other Hawthorn players, realising the task too great, are just waiting for that siren to go. We've played 21 minutes, so they could come home a little better perhaps, but the task a great one. And tired boys out there wearing brown and gold jumpers.
Carlton by 33 points. Centre bounce again. Madden gets yet another tap. Gives Gleeson an armchair ride. The ball kicked away by Dean. Up towards 50. A chance there for Mackenzie. Running away from Abbott. He's trying to control the ball. He may just work it over. He does. On the 15-metre line. Half forward flank. Left half forward flank to the main scoreboard or city end. Carlton 14-13. Hawthorn 8-16 in the grand final. All the speculation is just about over. Carlton premiers in 87, boundary throw in. Up goes Abbott, swats the ball about 10 or 15 metres, Nailey there, Dennis slips over, gives the handball back. Now I thought he was going to handball to Nailey, does it himself, foot pass not a particularly good one. The ball knocked down to Murphy. Here's another Carlton goal. Murphy now 20 metres out, has put it through. Now somebody tapped it across. Was it Gleeson onto Murphy? There was one movement there I didn't call. Anyway, the ball ended up with Fraser Murphy. On the run from 20 metres out, has put it through. And that's his first goal in the match. Scoreboard, Carlton 15-13, 103 by 39 points, reminds Gareth Andrews, seated right behind me. Hawthorn 8-16, 64.
Happy for Fraser. Loves kicking a goal, and he certainly loved doing that one.
Ball back in the centre with Ian Robinson. Greg Deere against Justin Madden, who's played a fantastic game, the big fellow for the Blues. He gets his left hand to it. It goes down to Bradley. Bradley spins it to Glascott. Glascott kicks it wide for the boundary line. Two tired players in Ayres and Dennis go after it. It's out of bounds between wing and half forward in front of the southern stand. The Blues have gone into the 100-point margin, 15-13, 103. The Hawks 8-16, 64. The Blues by 39 points. Chance for Carlton. Johnston gets pushed over, but his hand pass goes to Green. Green for Hawthorn clears up towards Brereton and Rhys Jones. Rhys Jones dragged Brereton down, and this time the Hawthorn player gets a free kick for being pushed in the back. Was that his first free for the day, Jack Cameron? It is, between wing and half forward. A day he'd want to forget, and a day Rhys Jones will remember. Foot past Brereton, marked by Green, who was about to play on. Nailey came in. I thought he had stepped over the mark. The umpire said he hadn't. That was Ian Robinson, the kick by Green from half forward. Curran dropping back. Oh, he slips at the crucial moment. Back there is Tuck to try and take it off the pack. He can't do so. Umpire Saws will bounce. 24 minutes gone, final term of the 87 grand final. The Blues have it won. They lead 15-13, 103 to Hawthorn 8-16, 64 by a margin of 39 points.
24 minutes and 17 seconds up on the clock. There's the ball up with Hawthorn into attack at the punt road end. Madden looks for the safety of the boundary line with a thump and does find it. Graham, it's been a long year. I think between us we've called, about 130 games of football?
Something like that, Smooth, yep.
I think you might have edged me out because of the stool gift, but it's been a long year, and this is the end of it now. The final 5 minutes is Johnston now for Carlton. Clears the ball away, around to the outer southern side. The ball comes down towards Nailey. Nailey's hand pass, a beauty out to Bradley, still running strongly. Has a couple of bounces. That Hawthorn player did make up some ground, Langford, and he worried him out of it because he lost possession, Bradley, and the ball's gone out of bounds. But certainly Langford, what would have made up a good metre on him, and Bradley is no slouch when it comes to foot running. It's official, into time on by 7 seconds in the grand final. Carlton 103, Hawthorn 64. Greg Deere gets the thump away. Tired players, tired commentators, and a lot of tired people out there barracking. Dean knocks it away, picked up by Ayres. Ayres is clearing kick. But Paul Deere was a bit lackadaisical then. Picked up by Schwab, who's been a good player for Hawthorn in the finals. Dropped a hard one today. Rhys Jones works the ball over. Yet again, the firm of Jones and Silvani. Rhys Jones and Silvani working together. Carlton 103, Hawthorn 64. Time on 37 seconds in the grand final of 87. Boundary throw in on the southern side. There goes Madden. It's a bit of a short one, that one, Smoke. Almost a world record. Picked up by Johnston, the dominator. Johnston's kick has been marked. It didn't travel very far by Abbott at centre half back.
Abbott in towards John Kennedy in the centre, and Kennedy takes the mark for Hawthorn just on the defensive side of the circle. Gets the handball away to Ayres. He sells the dummy. He was going to hand pass it to Collins. Goes up towards Curran. Silvani spoils, and the long arms gather it, and he just does a dribble kick along the ground again and puts it out of bounds. Superb defence of the Blues today has absolutely shut off any Hawthorn attacking moves. They've been Silvani, Reece Jones and Alvin have starred back there. Boundary throwing it right half forward. Madden grabs it from the throw-in. He's dominated the ruck. Gets the long clearing kick back towards the wing. Fisted away by Langford. No doubt Hawthorn's best player. Collins gets the hand pass back to Greg Deere. His handball was meant for Pritchard, who goes to ground. Picked up by Johnson. Another fine game from the Carlton champion. Kick rebounds to Ayres. Ayres breaks out of a tackle. Puts Hawthorn into attack up to half forward. Reece Jones dropping back. Curran couldn't hold it. Alvin can come away with it. No, not this time. Platten can't break clear. And the umpire will bounce it at centre half forward for Hawthorn. 27-minute mark of the final term. We've had 5 goals to Carlton and 1 to Hawthorn, so not much more play. I don't think they'll blow the siren early as they did in the under-19s, which was a bit of a sensation to start the day. The Blues by 39 points at the 27-minute mark. Madden gets the tap. Tuck couldn't break clear. Chance for Reece Jones. He can. Hand pass to Aitken. Aitken from the point of the square in defence kicks to half forward, and Gleeson, who marks, running away from Jenke. Left foot kick in towards Hunter. Out comes Mew. The tap away by Mew, okay, but Hunter recovers best. Handball to Nail. He ducks out of one. Back to Gleeson. Gleeson could be his second goal for the quarter. No. And the man in the goal square all on his own for Carlton. Back there was McKenzie. The pass didn't come. Gleeson wanted to kick the goal, and it's a behind. The lead 40 points. Carlton 104, Hawthorn 64. The short kick marked by Greg Deere at centre half-back. He's off and running. Has a bounce. Oh, but shaky. Goes back with a handball. Too far for Jenke, but it's okay for Collins. Collins has a bounce. Goes for the long hand pass over the top to John Kennedy. Kennedy draws the player. Back to Collins running down the ground. Collins runs inside 50 steadies. He has got some pace and he fires, and he might have kicked the goal. Perhaps the last of the match he has. Andrew Collins with pace kicks a goal for Hawthorn, who move on to 9-16-70. 34 points behind Carlton, the Blues. 15-14, 104, 28 minutes and 20 seconds gone in the final term of this 87 grand final.
That was a grand effort by young Collins. He went right from the half-back flank, the full length of the ground, and the long goal. Well, that was a great reward for some excellent play by that young fellow who has been one of Hawthorn's better players throughout.
Carlton by 34 points, and still Robert Walls has not come down from the coach's bench. Normally you see when the margin is wide enough and the time just ticking away, the coach will come down and embrace his players and trainers and the staff down there, but Robert Walls hasn't done it yet. From the centre bounce, the ball spills towards Green. Green's kick has been marked by Glasgow. Handball's on to Dean, which was a bit flashy, I think. A chance for Schwab, gives it across to Platten. God, good kick by Platten. I think he found Brereton. They give him the Bronx cheer. The kick by Di Domenico. Curran goes up. One grab. Oh, he's hurt himself, hurt his knee. But it's through from behind. Kick by Robert Di Domenico. His tally 1 goal, 1. Scoreboard at the MCG. Carlton by 33 points, 29 and a quarter minutes. Carlton 15-14, Hawthorn 9-17.
Out to the wing on the grandstand side. Green leading in the race for the ball, or is he? Knocks it back for Brereton. And there's the siren. It's all over. Carlton premiers in 1987, defeating Hawthorn to win the 87 flag by 33 points. And now the Carlton boys come down. Robbie Walls, Stephen Goff, the team manager, Wesley Lofts, Colin Kinnear, and Serge Silvani will be there. The Blues winning the grand final by 33 points, and the champion team of Australian football in 1987, 15-14, 104, the 9 goals, 17-71, a 33-point win to the Blues. Congratulations, David Mackay. A fantastic day. Well done, Carlton. 15th premiership in the VFL for the Blues. That is the most by any club. The Bombers 14, the Magpies 13, and the Demons 12.
Graham, both teams have had a marvellous run in the 80s. It's Carlton's 3rd premiership. They won the flag in 81, 82 and 87. Runners-up in 86. The Hawks have won 2 flags in the 80s, in 83 and 86, and runners-up now 3 times in the 80s, 84, 85 and 87. So Carlton, 3 premierships since 81, 82 and now 87. And they've won today's flag by a margin of 33 points. Graham, we'll give you the goal kickers in just a moment. Carlton 15-14, 104. Hawthorn 9-17-71. And Carlton, congratulations.
The goal kickers for the winners, the Blues. Kernahan and Bradley 3. Johnston 2. And singles to Dorotich, Hunter, Gleeson, Nailey, Meldrum, Murphy and Mackenzie. For Hawthorn, 3 goals to Kennedy and singles to Di Domenico, Greg Deere, Curran, Collins, Pritchard and Platten. The final score in the 87 grand final, Carlton 15-14, 104 to 9-17-71. The Blues by 33 points.
Let's go down to Mark Cutler's, Mike, because he has the Carlton chairman of selectors, Wes Loss.
Yep, well, I've just been crossed down to. I've got Wayne Johnson hugging Wes at the moment, and very tearful scene it is. Wes, a fantastic effort, really, after last year's disappointment. This must be sweet revenge.
It is. It's I still feel just a bit overblown at the moment, but it was a magnificent performance, and we went as we planned. I thought we wore them down minute by minute for the total game. Right to the end, we didn't lose concentration. It was a great performance. Not one of the most spectacular grand finals, of course, but just the way you would like to win them.
It certainly seemed like one of the hardest grand finals physically. Not a nasty game at all, but just a tough physical clash, and you came out winners, and that answered a lot of questions.
I thought so, yes, and that's a great way for us to win it.
Finally, Wes, one on the planning board or one on the day? How do you see
one
it?
on the totally for the players. It was. I don't think it would have mattered where they lined up. Their commitment was just fantastic. Beautiful, Beezer. Beautiful, son. And I think you can't just take away from the players. It was magnificent.
Okay.
Johnson, wonderful.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Wes Lofts. Back to you, fellas.
Well done, Mark Cutler, with the Carlton chairman of selectors. And now let's go to the Chief Commissioner of the VFL, Ross Oakley.
We'll have the Norm Smith medal presented to him by the former Melbourne champion, John Beckworth. The winner of the Norm Smith medal is David Rees-Jones.
Howard's got the medal. Former Melbourne Premiership captain John Beckworth puts the Norm Smith medal for the best player on the ground around the neck of Carlton champion David Rees-Jones.
The winner of the 1987 Speedo VFL Premiership is the Carlton Football Club.
Presentations about to be made as Hawthorn leave the MCG.
By the Prime Minister of Australia, the Honourable Bob Hawke.
Right, we're going to ask the following players to come forward to receive their medallions, their premiership medallions. If we can have number 1, Stephen Silvani.
Mr. Hawke
Stephen Silvani.
Dark blue tie, which may be symptomatic of the team he followed today.
Well, we'll come back to all the excitement of the Melbourne Cricket Ground in just a moment. Now, for our 2BL listeners, we'll bring you a complete wrap-up of all the big excitement at Randwick today at 6 o'clock. But the last race is coming up at 7 after 5, 3 minutes away from the Squatters Superfecta. And here's Jeff with a late mark.
Yes, and it's Riverdale 15-2 to 8-1. Picata 9-13 to 6s now. It's gone in a bit, Picata, into 6-1. Greatness 31-22. King Solo 11-2 to 9-2. And I believe in the ring from 8s into 4s. There's a heap of money to say King Solo can lift out the last. 4s to 7-2 True Reason, 13-2 to 7 Winter. Kiwi Kong 14-18, 9-11 Sea Swell. Fromoli 38-48, and then 5-6 Hader Prince. 62-83 Willara Prince. 22-25 Royal Real. 100 Superior Vintage, the same price as Mega Bucks. There's no doubt that King Solo looks the part, and I think you'll get a good run from Sea Swell. It opened at 9-1 and has gone out to about 11, but I think we'll give a good sight in this race. They're up at the gates, and the last event at 5:10.
We are the Navy Blues. We are the old dark Navy Blues. We're the team that never lets you down. We're the only team old Carlton knows. We're all the champions. They like to send up, we'll keep our end up, and they will know that they've been playing against the famous old dark blues. We are the old dark navy blues. We're the team that never lets you down. We're the only team old Carlton knows. With all the champions they like to send up, we'll keep our end up, and they will know that they've been playing against the famous old dark blues.
Well, there we go, and congratulations to the Mighty Blues on a tremendous performance today, and they can proudly fly the flag from Lygon Street tonight. There'll be lots and lots of celebrations.